The San Antonio Spurs got back into action last night, losing to the Los Angeles Clippers 128-116. In regards to the De'Aaron Fox trade rumors, ESPN NBA insider Sam Sharania says the interest is mutual, but added that Fox has a massive trade value, and San Antonio is still his preferred spot. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Talk.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody. How we doing, baby? It is the Morning Huddle. We're looking live, folks, from the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada.
The city that never sleeps is actually asleep right now.
Yeah, it is.
I've never been to Vegas when it's this quiet at any point, at any time.
Well, you hang around in that 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. hour
on a Wednesday
when the clubs have dumped out, and you'll see two things. You'll see people falling down, which is fun,
and prostitutes looking for their last catch of the night.
You and I saw the same one on the way in. This gal who's probably about 23, stacked up like a roll of quarters, and and she had her a fish on the line when I walked by.
I came walking by about 15 minutes earlier, and she was, there's no doubt.
She took a shot at you, huh?
Well, there's no doubt who she is and what she does. Let's just, there's just
the attire.
No doubt. Yeah. There's no doubt. And she was kind of leaning against the wall looking at her phone, and I came walking by, and she looked up at me like, anything?
Well, she likes the silver foxes.
She must be. She was hanging out.
Because she found her another one.
Let me tell you, if you're running around the casinos at 120, not a lot of silver foxes running around.
Well, she found her one.
Good for her. Good for her.
I don't know if she sealed the deal, but she certainly
she was fishing for
was
that.
Well on her way.
You got to close the night strong. You know what I mean?
You can always tell a girl in a dress like that if she's sober.
Yeah.
At 3 a.m.
She's working. Yeah. She looked up at me and went, anything? No? All right, move on.
Oh, yeah. What a place Nevada can be, my friend.
Nice travel. You got to see the fam.
Got
Everybody
to see
good?
the fam. Yeah, man. My dogs. Oh,
I bet they lost.
My dog was so excited to see me. The little dog was, disappointed that I'm not dead.
He's back.
Yeah, he's like,
I was led to believe that he and that damn cat were gone
for good. But no, man, it's good to be back here in Vegas, and good to be back here at the MGM.
I'll tell you what. So I'm staying over in the New York across the street, and I've been to this location twice in my life. And it was back in September. To this show, what we're doing for the boxing promotion.
Okay.
So we were here back in September for the Canelo fight. And the first day I got here, I didn't know where I was. So I took an Uber that morning.
Oh, yeah.
From New York to MGM.
And the Uber driver's probably like,
he never. See, the thing about that dude, he knew what he was doing, and he never said a word. He was like, morning, Robert. He started the car, stopped. Basically, it was across the street.
He probably thought he was going to have to hook your wheelchair up to the back or something.
Yeah, he saw me coming, but he never acted like, I guess some people just can't walk. I don't know. He didn't act like, dude, it's right there. He didn't say anything. Yeah. And he accepted he knew where I was going. So I've really only walked here. This is my third time.
Okay.
I'm so impressed that I made it here.
It's about as easy as it gets, Rob.
Nah, dude, it's 2 casinos. I did it. I watched my steps. So it's about 22. It's almost a mile from my room to here.
Okay.
Going through 2 maze casinos across the street on several different floors. And I got directly here, man. I am so impressed. And on top of that, to do it at roughly 3 a.m. in the morning in Vegas. There was a genuine fear that I was going to get lost. Like I was going to end up, because I didn't recon my route last night.
Yeah.
And this tonight was like, I was going by feel, and I walked to it. I'm so proud of myself.
My mother-in-law, who picked us up from the airport, she's not big on driving in the strip area. And so when she picked us up, I drove yesterday and took you to New York. And once we dropped you off, she was like, "How did you do that without a map or anything?" I was like, I lived here for 3 years, and I've been coming here for I don't even know how long. Yeah, I'm here all the time.
Oh, my wife has lived in San Antonio for 25, 30 years now, and still. I mean, thank God for now the maps.
Google Maps. Waze saves me a lot in San Antonio, but here I know my way around already.
But I'll tell you, the Strip is one giant rat maze. It is. I mean, the roads are a rat maze, the casinos are a rat maze, and just getting from one to another, it's intentional. They don't want you to leave. So to get through two of these, maze casinos, I'm so proud that I actually made it here. I left an hour early just in case.
How long had you been sitting out there when
Vic, how long had we been talking? Because I called you the moment I walked up.
About 45 minutes. Yeah, it was about 5:20.
I got there pretty early because I was very concerned that I could easily get turned around and I'm standing in Caesars. I don't know how it happened. I'm trying to find my way back.
Well, there's a bridge directly across the street.
Yeah, I made it. Dude, it's like breadcrumbs.
Now MGM owns New York, so they try to make it easy. They want you wherever.
What they do is they strategically, the hookers were strategically placed. It was like breadcrumbs. I just went from one to the next, and I made it all the way.
And they knew you'd get here.
And they knew exactly the follow. If you see the pink dress, take a left at the girl in the pink. Yep. If you see the girl in the black sequins, you've gone too far. Yep. So take a left at the girl in the pink.
Well, that's all the way down by the pool.
Yeah,
so you didn't make it that way.
Yeah, that's
it takes some getting used to, but I don't know. I've probably now. I'm trying to think how many times I've been out on. I've probably spent almost 6 months total living in the MGM. When you add it all up.
Yeah.
I mean, Fred and I used to come out here once a month.
Yeah.
Once every other month. Sometimes one time we came out here 3 out of 4 weeks in a month. We were here for 4-5 day trips. And so I used to come out for every UFC fight, every boxing fight. I was flying up here. And obviously it's tamped down now, but you just get used to and I can't get around everywhere like I can get around the MGM. The MGM and Caesars, I've got them down. I've spent enough time there.
I wish I could say I had any of these things down. I was sitting at the bar last night playing some video poker, drinking the free alcohol to make up for the $26 slice of pizza I ate. There's a big furniture convention in town.
Oh,
I met a bunch of dudes that are supplying textiles and cloths and whatnot for furniture.
Okay.
Had some fine discussions about the materials that are now,
microfiber.
Lots of microfiber talk, some crushed wool, the business. We're just hanging out talking.
Any velvet guys?
The velvet dudes, we don't hang with those guys.
Okay.
Man. They're weird.
Okay.
I'm strictly crushed wool, a little bit of the cotton stuff,
Okay.
The run of the mill everyday stuff.
No animal flesh, no leather,
those dudes, man. Yeah, that's the way they talk too. They're the velvet guys.
Yeah.
The Spurs. I played the casino ripping your ticket up.
Oh, did you bet on the Spurs?
I bet on the Spurs last night.
Son of a.
Yeah, bet on the Spurs last night. So I got to rip my ticket up with Voldemort scoring on the points. That was miserable.
Goodness.
Hey, by the way, did you see Wemby get a little chippy last night?
Yeah. He better be careful.
No, man, I appreciate that. Now, you don't want to get into it with
Zubic.
With Zubic.
That's what I'm saying. You're picking the wrong guy.
Well, you notice he waited to get. Well, it takes a redwood a while to get back up.
Yeah,
but it took so long to get up that he had plenty of buffer. He could charge, but he knew somebody was going to stop him.
I also I can't say this with any certainty, but just looking at Wemby, he doesn't look like he's built for combat.
Oh no. No, that's why he knew.
Yeah.
It'll take me a while.
Hold me back.
Time, yeah.
Hold me back, boys.
He was charging, but not really at full speed. Just hoping he'll get stopped.
Dude, anybody with a Z in their last name is looking at that French dude saying, come on, bub. Come on, bub. You want this? Come on.
Because we've got some deep-seated long-term goal issues there. This isn't just over a basketball thing. This is something about happened in 1574.
Yeah.
We still got a problem with you Frenchies.
Yep. So I don't think Zubic was too worried about Wemby kicking his ass, but Wemby sure wanted to.
I appreciate it, man. But that's why we don't really have a dude that will go out and sacrifice his body and his paycheck for the team.
Yeah.
We don't have the dude that, all right, I'll sit the next 2 out and spend $50,000, but I'll land a punch that'll be worth it.
Well, what about Mamu?
See, Mamu's too nice a guy. Well, he doesn't act the way he looks.
He's got a V in his last name.
I know, but he went to Seton Hall.
Seton Hall feels like a tough guy school to me.
It's in Jersey. I guess that's about as close as tough guy.
They play tough guy ball. Like
Elizabeth Ann Seton, it's a Catholic kind of school. So you're not rough. You ain't tough. It's like saying those tough dudes that come out of Our Lady of the Lake. So I guess he looks tougher than he is, but we don't have that guy.
Yeah, the game last night was another example of the Spurs failing to close.
Yep.
And that's become a long-standing issue with this team, is failing to close. And also, it's real easy to sit on the sidelines and question toughness, but 57-30 in the rebound category.
I hadn't looked at the box. And
that's absurd.
Yeah, what it felt like, honestly. And there's knowing how to close, having the right plays to close. But it was men playing boys. I mean, that's what it was. We were a bunch of boys, and we looked like the men just decided at the end of the game, we're going to go ahead and win this.
Zubac had 22 rebounds. 22 rebounds. That's obscene.
It's obscene, and it's indicative of what the Spurs should be looking at. While we're looking at De'Aaron Fox, we know where the true holes are, and one of the biggest ones is not in the backcourt.
It's beef. It's beef. And I know Spurs fan probably hates to see Kawhi Leonard play the way he did.
Voldemort.
God, he was good last night. And when you watch it, does it piss you off, or do you just kind of go? Do you kind of go, man, he was really good?
Oh, he was really good, and even now he's a shadow of what he was.
He's still really good.
He can't even. I bet his vertical is 6 inches. He has no bounce, but he is so savvy, and all the things that he learned here, you see it applied against us, and gosh, he's so good. I hate his very being. I mean, there are very few people in this world. Anybody who knows me, I look for the good in everybody.
It's so funny. I've never seen a fan base, and it's not just you. It seems like it's a real theme with Spurs fans. I've never seen a fan base so vehemently against a guy who got them a ring. Like, usually a guy gets you a ring, and I think maybe it's because, if it was the only ring, I think it'd be different. But because he only had one, and it was, and then he left right after, and the way he left, it's like, oh, that was totally unlike all our other rings.
The ring mattered, but you're right. We had other rings, and it's also he lost us a ring. He missed the free throws that led to the 3. So he lost us one too. So he's about even Steven there. But it was more about, he was the kid that was born to be the next. We brought him in. He was part of the community. I'll never forget, he had been here about 6 months, and I got a call to bring my son to this St. Mary's event where there's a bunch of basketball players around town, and there was some scouts there. So we show up, and Kawhi's out there working with the guys just because he was just a regular guy, and he went from that to a guy running with his group of whatevers out the back of a gym in New York, running from the Spurs organizations, trying to hide whatever rehab or whatever was going on with his injury. The malingering, and then the Uncle Bob and all this other kind of stuff. It was surreal for a city like us, who had done bent over backwards, not only as an organization, but as a fan base, to kind of welcome in this dude that was awkward and odd and quiet and mumbling and all that other kind of.
Quite frankly, he was a good fit for here at first, and it's like coming from San Diego State, and just the style of play. And then, I see how it's sour.
It was like you adopted a rescue pet. It was a great rescue dog, a pure breed, but it was kind of a rescue, and we kind of cleaned him up and taught him some basketball, taught him how to shoot. All these other kind of stuff made you into what was about to become. Because when he arrived, he was a defender. That was it. Couldn't shoot. But we saw something. Chip England worked with him night and day and made his career too. And then for him to turn around and kick us in the nuts like that, I don't like you. I don't want to be here, and I'm not going to do anything about it. And to passively aggress his way out of town. I mean, he didn't even have the nuts to be Jimmy Butler. He wasn't even that. He was this coward who hid behind a. Sorry, I'm going to back off. I just realized that I'm beyond that now. But every time he comes to town, no matter what goofy uniform he puts on with the Clippers, rekindles it, man.
Yeah, I can't say that I blame you.
Is there a guy you hate? I know there's a dislike for James Harden, but it's an entirely different reason. Is there an athlete that just you felt like did you or your team wrong that you cannot get past?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I have one. Oh, in 40 years of fandom and professional sports, there's one guy in all of them that I look at like there's nothing about you redeeming. Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with Stephon Diggs. I'm not big on Stephon Diggs. Like I thought that he was kind of crummy. I just don't know how you can play with Josh Allen and then just like bitch about playing with like maybe the most talented quarterback in the world, and you're sitting there complaining about it. But even him, I'm just like I don't even care about him.
Right?
Like, it's like whatever. I'm glad he's gone.
And that's the best way to approach it. I shouldn't even care. I mean, more power to you. Go do it. But for whatever reason, I feel like I was personally misled, and I never had any kind of conversation with him. But I just felt like I've been betrayed. It's like an ex-girlfriend. Like I'll never get over this.
I always think about is like when I started to despise Stephon Diggs in the end, I was like, if the Bills never traded with the Vikings and the Bills had just drafted Justin Jefferson, like, what could have been? What could have been? All right, we'll talk about the Spurs. We got plenty to discuss today. We'll see what the latest on these trade rumors are, but we'll get into that game from last night and discuss where the Spurs are. What's the direction of this team right now? Because it's been a roller coaster year, but man, we're in a real sort of a downswing, right? We're at the bottom of the coaster right now, and we'll see if there's another ramp up. We'll talk about that next. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Your commute's starting to fill in a little early. We've got some slick streets, so a lot of fishtailing going on. Be very careful. Slow down as you head out and about. Loop 410 southbound at Military, that's an accident. Left lane and left shoulder blocked. Loop 410 northbound, that connected to get onto eastbound I-10. That's an 18-wheeler accident. It's blocking the interchange ramp, so it looks like they're still forcing traffic to continue on westbound I-10, and then you have to make a U-turn right at WW White if you need to get back onto I-10 eastbound. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states.
Adam Schefter here with Vivid Seats. We've got some late-breaking news coming out of the stands. According to multiple sources, Vivid Seats fans are scoring rewards on every purchase and at a rapid pace. Obviously, these rewards are a game changer, and coupled with their MVP-worthy ticket selection, why get tickets anywhere else? Don't drop the ball this season. Shop with Vivid Seats and earn rewards on every ticket. And as the official ticketing partner of ESPN, Vivid Seats is offering you $20 off your first $200 ticket purchase with code Schefter. That's code Schefter.
Lowe's knows how to help make your Super Bowl 59 party a touchdown. Let us help you prep your home to host with top brands like Charbroil, Blackstone, and LG, so you can be the MVP of game day. Plus, use the Lowe's app to find what you need for a seamless shopping run. Or huddle up with our Lowe's Red Vest associates to help make all your game time hosting decisions.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. We can help you save on the right oil for your vehicle. Right now, get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge Full Synthetic or Castrol Edge Full Synthetic High Mileage Motor Oil with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for just $35.99. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, the Cowboys have some work to do before they kick off next season. What free agents might they target?
We'll also have the latest on the De'Aaron Fox trade rumors.
And we'll talk to John McClain about the Texans' offensive coordinator search.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob, live from Radio Row at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, ahead of the David Benavidez, David Morrell fight on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle 94.1. We were talking about that, the video out of DC. This is wild, man. This helicopter that a military helicopter and an American flight just smacked into each other in DC, like midair. I don't know how this happens. I don't know how it's even possible, but I think it's gonna be a big story today. Oh, it was a big story yesterday. I think it's gonna be a lot bigger today. I think they're gonna find some stuff out today.
We were on that runway or a runway adjacent a month ago.
And it's the thing that's weird about it, and the thing that I don't know why I'm like this, but I immediately go to like conspiracy theory.
I'm ineptitude.
The very first thing I consider is I'm like, okay, that DCA, that airport in DC is, I mean, it's obviously the most secure airport in our country. It's also like the thinnest, I don't know what they call it, like
it's a very narrow approach.
There's one way in and one way out is what it basically is. And there's nowhere else to go because otherwise you're flying over these buildings that you're not allowed to fly over.
That are also well defended and will shoot you down.
So how there was a military helicopter doing anything in that narrow flight path is beyond me. And also, I've been on a lot of military helicopters. They're about as nimble as they come. And this big, slow-moving,
didn't get out of the way.
How do you not get out of the way? You can get out of the way of bullet fire. If you can't get out of the way of a giant airplane, it makes me feel like there's something suspicious.
Well, I always fall to it's probably inept more than suspicious.
No, I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Just horrified. That's just
Oh, it is terrible. But if you haven't seen the video, go check it out.
That's why we do sports. We don't talk about stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, unless we find out that somehow Kawhi Leonard was involved.
Oh, you know what? If any professional athlete was, even a dude as dastardly as he would not.
He wouldn't dream of it.
Wouldn't dream of something as catastrophic.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Now, that little crossover fadeaway in the paint, on the other hand, that is a deadly weapon.
Taking a look at the Brigade bar this morning, Ram says, "All right, AJ, how much are you already down?"
Hey, dude, I'm up 80.
I haven't made a wager since I got here.
I'm up 80 at the tables. I'm a little down on the sports book because
the Spurs, low Spurs.
I got to start doing a little bit more exotic. Other than I like this team, I'm playing money line kind of stuff.
And then Brian says, "Don't forget Tim Duncan was about to leave if it wasn't for the coach not letting him bring his family."
That's very true.
Don't forget Tim Duncan almost left too, but he didn't.
He didn't, and he was never going to be as deceitful and duplicitous and blame some kind of mythical family member for all of his ill doings. Like it wasn't going to ever. That was never going to happen.
The game last night, again, this was a game that. What was it, a 2-point game going into the fourth quarter? I mean, it was an even game.
It was a good basketball game for about 30 minutes, 35
How
minutes.
do we explain the consistent meltdowns of the Spurs in late game situations?
The Titanic had more than just the rip. They had poor decisions, before they got to the ice. There's obviously, it was so apparent it was man amongst boys. It was 5 NBA lifers playing against, Harrison Barnes, Chris Paul, and 3 children. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And at the close down, we weren't man enough. We weren't capable of that. So that's one thing, and we'll mature into that. But when we're talking about the last month and a lot of the whole season, for years the whole goal was to play really, really good for 38 minutes. And then let the game slip away because we were chasing something other than the win. We wanted something else. And now that it's time to go ahead and close the game, we don't know how to do that. And it's obvious. And we don't have a guy. We have a bunch of dudes that think that they're the guy, but we don't have a guy to just go get a bucket. We just don't have that. We don't have a guy. Here's the ball. We're going to clear it out for you. Now, we have a couple of guys like Wemby that'll be more than happy to take a 35-foot three. You know what I mean? We have those guys, but we don't have a guy. Here it is.
Drive
it's time to win the game. And that was Kawhi last night. Here it is. And James Harden, here's the ball. Go win the game. I'm going to step back. Jimmys and Joes overcome X's and O's 100% of the time if they're all on the same page. And we don't have the dudes. And I also question the X's and O's. So there's some issues on both sides of the problem.
I'm sure as much as Spurs fan wanted to beat Kawhi, I'm guessing Chris Paul wanted to beat James Harden.
Yeah, it should have been equal, but
it just, I don't know. And last night, watching that in-game stuff, and like you said, Wemby's always happy to take a long three late in the game, but when there's a scoring drought, and I'm like, you just need an easy bucket, that's when I go right back to my old school thing of let the tall guy stand under the basket and have Chris Paul find him and get an easy lay-in. And it just seems like it's so simple.
Why are we doing the hard route? Why are we doing this? And it's now time to question that. I really do believe that.
Like, I get that Wemby is something we haven't seen before. The fascinating thing to me about Wemby was that he could be this. He could be a outside player. He could be an inside player. But if you're not an inside player and all you are is just a tall outside player, it's not as nifty as I thought it was.
There's a trend going on that it started a year ago, and it kind of got away because Wemby kind of went to a next level there at the end of the season. But the book on Wemby is, and we saw it in Memphis when Memphis came to town a couple of weeks ago, is beat the crap out of him, foul him, body blow him, bully him, and he will play further and further away.
Yep.
Every time he comes into the paint, he gets an elbow. Every time he's running to the basket, Zubac pushes him down. He's not going to go that direction. Now, I wouldn't either. Hell, I'm 7'5". That's a long redwood to come down. He's not strong enough yet. That's a problem. And it's becoming more and more evidenced by his output. 23 points last night. That's become the norm. We were up at 28 or 29 a couple of weeks ago, but that's gone. He's hitting a wall because he's getting beat up.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
Well, you got to coach around that. You got to fix this.
Yeah. And I don't know if Mitch has the oomph to tell him how to do it.
You know, what do they say? A horse built by a committee is an elephant.
Yeah.
You know, and he's got a committee of coaches, but let's not build an elephant. Let's just build a horse. We don't have to do something extravagant. Let's just find a way to start winning basketball games without teaching and all that. It's time to win if that's truly the thing. And we've got now we're down to 6 days by this trade deadline. We have a losing streak. We are rapidly falling out of the play-in. Are we going to make a deal to jump back in, or are we already focusing on Cooper Flagg?
Yeah, we'll hear from Wemby on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle live from the MGM Grand here in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Your commute starting to fill in a little early. We've got some slick streets, so a lot of fishtailing going on. Be very careful. Slow down as you head out and about. Loop 410 southbound at Military, that's an accident. Left lane and left shoulder blocked. Loop 410 northbound, that connected to get onto eastbound I-10. That's an 18-wheeler accident. It's blocking the interchange ramp, so it looks like they're still forcing traffic to continue on westbound I-10, and then you have to make a U-turn right at WW White if you need to get back onto I-10 eastbound. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Just something on Facebook. You know, you read something really quick and you go, oh my God, I can't believe I fell for that. A new drug has been developed for lesbians with depression. It's called tricoxagen. Gigi got it.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hola, mi esposo se lastimó en un accidente ayer. ¿Me puede ayudar?
Claro que sí. Estamos aquí para servirle.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7. Our team of Texas attorneys has been helping people injured in car, truck, or 18-wheeler wrecks for more than 25 years. And there's no fee unless we win. Y hablamos español. If you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Having a party for the big game? Let Smoky Mo's handle the barbecue. Go with the Big Game Rib Party Pack. 3 pounds of delicious Smoky Mo's slow smoked ribs, plus sides. Or get the Tailgate Party Pack, a buffet in a box with brisket, turkey, sausage, and sides. Add in a Baker Bar Group Pack. The chopped baked potato bar is perfect for groups. Smoky Mo's is great Texas barbecue that will make your big game party super. Order online at SmokyMo'sBBQ.com. Smoky Mo's, the pit is lit.
San Antonio, are you ready? The 2025 NCAA Men's Final Four is coming to the Alamo City. The NCAA Men's Final Four Fan Fest, presented by Capital One, brings fun for all ages. Fan Fest is a sports wonderland of interactive games with celebrity and athlete appearances, giveaways, and much more. Come ready to play April 4th through the 7th at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. The event is free for kids 12 and under, Capital One card holders, military personnel, and 2025 Final Four ticket holders. Visit ncaa.com/men's Final Four.
Take the guesswork out of buying and selling your home with Orchard. Hi, Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Will your home sell in time? Which upgrades are worth it? Can you keep your home show ready with a busy life? Orchard has all the answers. With Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, you can buy your new home before selling your old one. It's simple. Orchard gives you an equity advance, unlocking cash to buy your new home first. That's right. You don't have to wait for your old place to sell. You can move in right away. And no more rushing out for showings or constant cleaning, because Orchard sells your old home after you've settled into your new home. Orchard even handles repairs and improvements at no out-of-pocket cost to you. Their local pros know which upgrades bring you the most money, so you sell for top dollar. Buy before you sell and skip the selling hassles with Orchard. Start your free home valuation at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. We can help you save on the right oil for your vehicle. Right now, get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge Full Synthetic or Castrol Edge Full Synthetic High Mileage Motor Oil with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for just $35.99. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Live from Radio Row at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas for the David Benavidez, David Morrell fight. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Did you have a nickname?
No.
Do you get to make your own nickname? Can I make? You're not allowed to make your own.
No, you can't make your own.
But
like
if you're
everybody
a fighter, you could.
Everybody called me when I was in the Army. Everybody called me Hoff or Hoff a Beast.
Hoff a Beast,
which was
I like that. That's a good one.
It's too long.
Yeah, it would have to look good on a placard, you know.
Yeah, it's no good.
Got to be an eye catch. You got to jump off.
But yeah, I didn't have a nickname when I was fighting. I just my old co-host gave himself his nickname.
See,
and I always gave him hell about it. Just don't think you can do it.
No, but if you were like coming to a new town,
I should have. I should have decided on one.
Jabberjaw.
Damn it! I blew my chance.
I wonder what mine would be.
I don't know.
See, don't start naming it.
What about Minix or Reinagel? Nobody has one here.
I would like to have a good Michael Buffer intro name.
Yeah, Rob. I don't know.
You know
what? I'll think about it.
We've got 4 days till the fight. 3 days till the fight.
I'll think about it. Hey, Vic, you doing all right, buddy?
Yeah, doing good.
You seem extra stressed today.
Well,
misses us.
Yeah, a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah, we just the connection this morning.
The connection, like your weed guy, did he not come through?
No, the connection to you guys.
Oh, because it feels like maybe you missed a meeting with your plug or something because you're all
nervous.
stressed out.
He
Yeah,
doesn't realize the level of professionalism that not only he carries, but those that we work with. We had a few. Well, there's a couple of things
But we got it.
Live.
We got it.
That's
now
live
Vic's
sports.
like he's like 30 seconds, 27 seconds, 21 seconds.
Well, I'm looking and
17
I don't see
seconds.
anybody on the screen. Y'all are just talking, and I
I
was
get it.
like, okay, well, here we go.
And luckily, we have our headsets up. We can hear you counting us.
Oh,
down.
okay, good.
They delivered the coffee cart.
You gotta count.
And when you come to Vegas, the coffee cart ain't like San Antonio coffee cart. There's like 5 different kinds of cream.
Oh,
really?
I went with the almond this time, Vic.
Oh man, you're lucky.
I'll
Yeah,
tell
I'm
you
stuck with
what,
the coffee here.
We
You know
have
that.
three different kinds of sugar. It's all sugar. We have 3 different kinds
Oh,
of
you
regular
can get
sugar.
not only that, you can get they've got the crystallized sugar on a stick that you can use as like your stir.
4 different
What?
kinds of
Or-
regular sugar.
Or if you want honey, there's honey over there
5
also.
different
Really?
sweeteners.
Oh yes.
Man,
Oh yes.
Yes.
all I got is sweetener.
Yeah,
That's
it's just
it.
called sweetener.
Yeah,
Just,
it just says sweetener on it. No
Black
name
label.
or nothing.
Sweetener.
yeah, I don't know. Brian says stop baby and Wemby. He's 7'5", needs to be more aggressive.
He does need to be, but he's a child. I mean, would you send your child up against Zubats? That dude will knife you
If
in
he's
the back
7'4",
alley. I mean, dude, a 7'4" twig. We never want Wemby using those hands. We want him to treat his hands like he's a hand model. I want him leaving the gym with oven mitts on. Don't swing at anybody. You break your hand. That's the worst thing you can do. We can pay other dudes to handle that. And that's a thing that we don't have. I know I'm a little old school with that.
Yeah.
But I think every team needs an Udonis Haslem. Every team needs a dude that's been around for about 40 years, that's got those rugged knuckles and got sharp elbows, that plays 4 minutes a game with one job is to fill his stat column with fouls. That's your job, man. Go in and disrupt using your elbows, your hips, and your knees.
I wish Charles Bassey was like 4 inches taller.
Well, you know, it would be great if he was, but even if he wasn't, there's a mentality to it that has nothing to do. Like Bassey has a pit bull mentality when it comes to rebounding. I want a dude that has a pit bull mentality that is to hurt the other team, not to injure them. Big difference, but to hurt them. You know, don't go Zsa, but do let them know you're in the building. And we don't have that. And And as we go further down through this season, as games truly start to matter, teams are going to more and more go right at Wemby. We know that that's the prescription from Houston. We saw what Sengun has done to him. We saw what Zach Edey did just the other day. The intention is to beat up Wemby.
Yeah. And that's, again, until this team adds some
muscle, some
weight.
buggery.
Yeah.
But that's not even the issue. There's so many other things to get to before we get there, because this is a maturing process for Wemby. You're going to have to get used to it, brother. You're a superstar, and you're going to get –
But Wemby's never going to add 40 pounds.
No.
He's never going to be what a normal post player is. But he also has to understand, like – and I mean, neither is Chet Holmgren.
Exactly.
But Chet Holmgren's not scared to play in the paint.
Well, that's part of the Euro mentality that we're going to have to get past. That's, I think that you were the first to kind of bring up. And on the Nationals, we're starting to hear some of the national types start to say he's staying out in the in the freewheeling plains of 3-point shooting land too much. And when we're seeing teams in the fourth quarter beat us in the paint,
yeah,
you start wondering, what are we doing here? Is this a coaching thing? Is this this is why Wemby's here, because he's allowed to do this and he's going to stay happy as long as he's allowed to do this? We have so many questions because our head coach really isn't our head coach yet, and really isn't Pop. And who's going to be the next, and who's making these decisions? There's no real definitive answer. We're holding Mercury, and we're coming up to a waterfall. We're coming up to a trade deadline. We're either going to go over or we're going to pull the boat off the river, one or the other. And I don't know which way we're given the current losing streak, given the strength of the West. This thing could get away from you quick.
Yeah. Josh says, AJ, please go to Cafe Rio and get a sweet pork burrito, enchilada style, and then dinner at Echo and Rig, New York strip medium. First of all, I don't burn my steaks. I don't eat a medium steak. I don't.
And you lived here. Why are they? I need the advice. You from here? Send advice to the newbie dude.
I got the places,
and everybody has their spot. I got a spot or two, but
yeah, and what happened to Wemby in the fourth? I don't know. Again, it's gonna it'll take some time,
and some of it's on him. I mean, not some of it, 50% of it. It's on him.
And the truth is, I think what the Spurs need to realize, and I kind of, that's why I was saying the idea of Donovan Clingan was so appealing to me, and everybody was like, we have a big man. Well, you kind of don't.
Well, no, we don't. But Clingan's had his own issues. I mean, you're right.
Sure, he's a rookie, and he's going to have issues. I get it, but the idea of what Clingan can do and what Clingan is willing to do is what the Spurs are missing.
I'd like to go back and look at the shot dispersal in the fourth quarter, because there were several things going on in the fourth, and Wemby did disappear a bit. Our defense got really, really loose there in the fourth when we were trying to find some help side on some high pick and roll stuff, especially when Harden had the ball. We were flummoxed. We didn't have an answer to that defensively. That's coaching. That goes directly on sets and prep and making sure guys are ready. On the offensive side of the ball, there's just nobody to take the ball over, and we saw it again last night. They are not in a position, they don't understand for whatever reason how to close the game. And I don't know how you learn that other than by doing it or getting guys that know how to do it. And seeing last night, AJ, where the hole truly was, and we're looking at what Sacramento is asking. Have you seen the ask that guys like Bobby Marks are talking about?
No.
We're talking about just about every number one. Steph Castle and Keldon or Devin.
No,
that's the ass.
Piss off.
That's kind of where I am, especially last night when I saw guard's not the problem. It's an ongoing issue, one that needs to be addressed. But last night it's down low. If we're looking at, are we trying to win games? Are we trying to go to the playoffs this year? Or are we doing everything now for next year or the year after? And we got 5 days to figure this out.
The question is, what other teams have 4 number ones that they're willing to trade?
Well, Nobody. Well, no, there's a couple. I mean, Oklahoma City's still got a bevy of picks.
But they're not trading for De'Aaron Fox. The Utah Jazz have a bunch of picks. They're not trading for De'Aaron Fox.
Say that, but it's not so much their ass because they still, I mean, we can sit and wait for this dude to show up.
That's what I'm saying.
Are we playing, have we sped up our clock? Are we playing for the playoffs now? Or are we playing for next year? We're going to know over the next 5 days. By our record, we are adding ping pong balls. By our record, we are rapidly falling out of the playoff picture. Now, there's still a fair amount of time to go. But with this separation, you lose 4 games. You're out of it. And to play back into it is just about impossible, given our absolute inability to close out big games. So I think that this trade deadline was, I'd love to see De'Aaron Fox, but this is really going to give you an idea of the direction this team is going to go toward the end of April. I mean, right now, do you want to go to the playoffs with this team?
No. It's a waste.
And so if we traded away our favorite young dude and all these draft picks and we bring in De'Aaron Fox, is that telling us we got to go to the playoffs now because there ain't no draft pick?
Yeah. By the way, the last 3 weeks of Donovan Clingan averaging, tell me you wouldn't take this, averaging 5 points per game. He's playing about 17, 18 minutes per game. 5 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks.
Yeah, good numbers.
Give me that.
I'm not sure it would fit with us, knowing the way Wemby's playing. I agree with you. It would look good then. I think we need somebody that plays just a little bit different than he does. Somebody that can guard 2-3 positions bullish.
Well, that's not him. But
the guy that I covet is the guy you covet. Is with the Nets. If you, I could draw up the guy that the Spurs need. He's on the Nets. He's not on Sacramento.
All right, let's hit a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the first hour live from Las Vegas. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
South Texas, get ready for the ultimate sports talk experience. The one and only Rich Eisen is on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. With over 20 years of NFL experience, Rich Eisen brings breaking stories, expert analysis, and exclusive interviews with sports legends to your airwaves with unmatched wit, insight, and passion. Catch all the action every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show, only on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a Colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. Just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Now at North Park Chevrolet. Buy a new 2025 Chevrolet Malibu RS posted at $21,999 plus low 1.9% financing. Got a $1,000 owner loyalty bonus on new new 2025 Trailblazers, plus 3.9% financing for 75 months. And make no payments until May 2025 on new 2025 tracks. Together, let's drive at North Park Chevrolet. 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com. Must qualify for financing offers. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
The best app for your big game party is actually on your phone. It's called Underdog. Jason Minix here from the Blitz, and Texas sports fans, good news for you. Underdog is available to play in Texas. The best place to cash in on all your takes during the big game. Be like me and many others playing the Pick'em game. And with the Underdog Pick'em game, you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. They've got all the leagues. They've got all the stars to choose from. Create entries with all the football picks or mix and match across other sports. And Underdog is the only Pick'em platform that puts the power to cash out in your hands. You can either keep riding with your entry or tap the Win Now button to cash out whenever you want. Underdog is the best place to play Pick'em. Download the app, sign up with promo code STAR, deposit now, and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code STAR. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, Hims can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the big game in the Big Easy.
It's showtime, let's go!
And the only local station bringing you exclusive wall-to-wall coverage from New Orleans. All brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. We're live from Radio Row with insider interviews, breaking stories, and all the pregame excitement leading up to the superb hour.
This is exactly where we want to be!
From the biggest names in sports to behind-the-scenes access, we've got it all.
I like this kind of party!
Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage is brought to you in part by Flight by Yingling, Circle Las Vegas, Smoky Mo's Barbecue, Synergenics, Testosterone and Weight Loss, and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. Your front row seat to the backstage action, live from New Orleans, is 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Broadcasting from Radio Row at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, ahead of Saturday's Benavidez Morrell fight. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
When I was walking in, what the name? I have already forgotten the name of the song. I was like, I'm going to ask Rob who sings this song. Because I was like, I thought maybe it was another Wilson Phillips song, but then I was like, no, it's not them.
Well, I have all their catalog. I'm a huge fan of the band.
Oh, I'll remember it here in a bit. But yeah, I was like, who sings this song? It's another one of those like 90s, 80s, 90s girl songs.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah.
Was she about 17 singing about happy stuff?
Probably.
Good,
yeah.
Good,
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Friday
and it's fun. You hear an eclectic mix of music in this. In this casino in particular.
I love the casino because it is truly a slice of the world,
and a lot of it depends on what time of day it is. Like you'll hear like dubstep at some like you'll go from Miley Cyrus to Skrillex in the Haagen-Dazs line. Yep. Oh man. Yeah, we're out here for the David Benavidez, David Morrell fight. Figueroa, Fulton, Pitbull, and Fierro.
Can you name a super welterweight Pitbull? Don't you have to be a little bit bigger?
No.
No? Okay.
No, I think
like El Chihuahua.
No.
No, they're savage. My Chihuahua would take a finger off, man.
I think of pit bulls as mid-sized dogs anyway.
Well, okay, middleweight. I just seem like I know he earned it. He's tough, but isn't there like a weight requirement?
I got one of my buddies who fought in the UFC. His name's Daniel Pineda, and his nickname is Pit.
How big is he?
Like 145, 155.
See, that's about right. But at like 115, is that really a pit bull?
Yeah, I would call it I'd maybe call him the French bulldog.
See, a little bit more appropriate. I'm just saying.
He's the Frenchie. Even if you're not French, you're still a Frenchie.
El Corgi.
El Pug.
The pug.
But yeah, we'll tomorrow especially we'll have a bunch of interviews. We'll talk to Jim Lampley tomorrow here on the show. Yeah, lots to discuss on the fights. But obviously available on pay-per-view
on Amazon.
Prime Video pay-per-view on Saturday, starting at 7:00 San Antonio time. All right, we'll be back. Hour number 2 of the Huddle coming up on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding the work with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. It's the Morning Huddle, KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Thomas J. Henry Injury Attorneys, available 24/7.
When it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years and successfully represented thousands of injured Texans. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. Things people love. Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
From a fender bender to a total loss, Davis Law Firm has a team of expert attorneys ready to get you back on the road with the verdict or settlement you deserve. Y hablamos español. Want more? Call the Fours. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio, 444-4444.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hour.
San Antonio, the NCAA 2025 Men's Final Four is coming April 4th through the 7th. Check out Reese's Men's Final Four Friday, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity where you can watch open practices and the Reese's NABC All-Star Game at the Alamo Dome for free. And for the music lovers, March Madness Music Festival, presented by AT&T, Capital One, and Coca-Cola, with 3 days of free concerts, featuring the biggest acts in music at Tower Park and Hemisphere. Visit ncaa.com/men's Final Four.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. and you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Lowe's knows how to help you save time and money, no matter the job. That's why we can deliver supplies to your job site as soon as same day, so you have more time to get the job done. Because when you need it fast, we've got you covered. Lowe's knows pros. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes, placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Still working a few trouble spots. So let's start with this closure on the far northwest side of town. 1604 eastbound shut down between Houseman on over to Bandera Road. Major accident here. Traffic is still being forced onto the frontage road. So the backup starts at Culebra, and that's going to set you back 45 minutes. On I-10 westbound WWI, this wreck in the right lane causing a 20-minute delay. It's a stall on 410 northbound Medina Base Road, taking up a left lane. And 410 northbound, that connector to get onto eastbound I-10, that's an 18-wheeler accident. It's blocking the interchange ramp, about a 5-minute delay slow from South Cross. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs got back into action last night, losing to the Los Angeles Clippers 128-116. In regards to the De'Aaron Fox trade rumors, ESPN NBA insider Sam Charania says the interest is mutual, but added that Fox has a massive trade value, and San Antonio is still his preferred spot. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This Sports Center update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hot mic, Vic?
Hot mic.
Hot
mic.
Hot round. Hot round.
Back scratch up.
So is it Omaha?
Omaha.
Here we go.
Hot mic.
I like that.
I like all
You got
of
your own now. Hot mic.
Yeah. Well, we don't want nothing to slip through.
So what's the go-to? What's the hot route then? What am I supposed to do when you scream hot mic?
Don't say anything stupid.
Am I running a wheel route?
No, don't cuss.
Don't
cuss. Don't cuss.
Am I checking? Oh, don't cuss.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going over the air.
That's all that matters.
Oh, this is one of those deals.
We're live on the radio now.
Yeah.
Live on the radio now.
Stop talking about your wife.
I thought
Don't
we
cuss.
were on a don't cuss podcast for those that can't do radio.
Oh man. God, Border Jumper. What a bitter, angry person he is.
I think it's the time of day.
I think it is.
I'm looking at Border Jumper today. And
He's already all
surly.
He's already said something about the opportunity isn't the only thing AJ's blown or something. And then he said
surly all.
Then he said 145. Is he 12?
Is he 12?
About a man who would literally bend you over and take your manhood in front of your family if he wanted.
I weighed more than 145 at 12. I weighed more than 105 at 12.
I did too. But I've got a 12-year-old at home that
he weighs more than 145.
Well over 145. But at the same time, I'm also fully aware that 145, 155-pound dude has waxed the floor with me.
Yeah, he'd whip my ass every way to Sunday. Yeah. But that goes without saying.
Yeah.
A lot of guys could do that.
Yeah. But that's why I don't say, what is he, 12?
You're a little tiny dude.
You little tiny little baby. Got to be careful.
What did we learn? If you ever get into a fight and he tries to take your leg out, run.
Oh, if you get in a street fight and somebody starts throwing leg kicks,
go,
dude,
run.
You've made a mistake.
Lose. It's already over.
You've made a mistake.
He gave you the tell. He led with the ace.
That's what I'm going to do first thing. Next time I get in a fight, I'm just going to leg kick the hell out of
somebody. Starts kicking at my leg, I'm running.
I've never leg kicked someone in a street fight.
Seriously, but if you see that, like what the, whoa, nope.
Oh,
this guy's
I'm
practiced.
Telling you, anytime I watch those videos on YouTube or on Instagram or Twitter, I see a fight, I'm like, oh, you see somebody throw a leg kick, you go, yep, that guy's about to win.
Time to go. I've watched enough YouTube enough Steve Inman videos to know it's not going to end well.
I think what happens is the guy who gets leg kicked is like, you're not supposed to do that. That's weird. And then he thinks this guy doesn't know how to fight. That's why he's doing that. And then about 30 seconds later, you realize, oh, actually, he's doing that because he does know how to fight.
The next thing you know, you're coming to.
And
that's basically you're waking up. Like that last I remember, he kicked me in the shin.
Next thing you know, like your calf that got kicked 30 seconds ago is like feels like there's a grapefruit growing out of it, and it's like, damn it, it's harder for me to get around right now.
So 145, you kick me in the leg, I'm running. I don't care. I'm out.
Oh man! Well, there will be no leg kicks on Saturday night, at least not on the pay-per-view here on Prime pay-per-view. The Benavidez Morrell fight. Like I said, we'll probably. We're up pretty early out here for Vegas time, so what we're going to do is stay after a little bit and record some interviews,
get some dudes,
and give you guys some skinny on this fight tomorrow.
I love big man, undefeated big man fight. You don't get to see this very often.
So it'll be a fun show for sure. And I always love that they bring us out here for these big events, and this is a good one right across the street at T-Mobile.
Easy to get to. It's on Prime.
Yeah, T-Mobile tonight has the Golden Knights in it. I should have gotten tickets to go to the Knights game. That's my big error.
There's still time.
Oh,
you got work. You got stuff.
Yeah.
See, I'm footloose. I might go. I'll tell you about it.
I'll tell you what, getting a late notice ticket to the Knights ain't.
Oh, I know one of the engineers.
It ain't easy.
I know one of the
you're already
engineers.
using that connect.
I'm going to be like an engineer's helper today. I'm going to be pulling cables and doing important stuff. I'm going to put on a some kind of engineer cap. And
that's what I should have done. Is I should have applied for a press credential and said, I'm here from San Antonio to cover the hockey match.
The big game,
the big hockey match. Yeah, the big hockey. You guys have there's a sport thing happening tonight, right?
Yeah, you're
on ice.
You're the Golden Knights beat reporter for the San Antonio Express.
Yes.
You'd have your own office. There wouldn't be anybody else with you.
I think so. And they would have been like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah, we don't have a San Antonio presence.
Well, now you do, friends.
Well, we kind of do. You know Becky? How are you with that crowd?
I like to think I am the.
Are you in with that crowd?
I am the affiliate for Golden Knights hockey in San Antonio. I think I'm the only person who cares about it, but that's okay. That and the Bills. Although no, there is. I found that Anchor Bar.
You go to the Anchor Bar. There's enough Bills fans.
I didn't realize how many there were.
Those poor bastards.
There's too many for me to go watch the game there. So I didn't want to be around it. But I'm also glad I wasn't around it to be around all that sadness. It was bad enough just being in my apartment by myself and being sad. I don't need others' misery to bring me down. I've got plenty on my own. But yeah, we'll talk about that fight more tomorrow. As like I said, we'll have some interviews for you guys, including I'm pretty sure Jim Lampley set to join us, and you never know who's going to come through. This is a Mayweather production, so
have you ever been a part of a Mayweather production?
Oh yes, many of them. What's the guy's name that? Oh man, why can't I think of his name? Leonard Ellerby, who is like Floyd Mayweather's. He's the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, and we were in Dallas for a fight, and the hotel bar was closed, and they wanted to go out, and we're like, all right, well, let's go out, and we asked the Uber driver, asked the cab driver, what's the closest thing, and he took us over to a bar, and it ended up being a gay bar, and. Leonard Ellerby was not accustomed to being in a Dallas gay bar, and there was some awkward moments. So we had a few drinks, and and just headed on our way.
I don't even want to get into it, but
my co-host Fred was hammered, and he's sitting on, like, they had an outdoor area, and he was sitting on a picnic table with his feet on the bench of the picnic table, and somebody had come up and started talking to him, and the guy was like standing between his legs, and I don't think Fred realized what was going on because he was a little lit. And as the conversation went on, the guy had his hand on Fred's knee, and it's like, I don't think you realize what's happening here, Fred.
Well, he's being a nice guy.
Fred's like, oh, he's just a friendly guy.
I'm
I'm like,
a little touchy, but
I'm like, oh, just a friendly guy,
he's
huh?
a snappy dresser. Kind of touchy-feely, but he bought me a drink.
Bought me 3 drinks. I just kept drinking.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
I don't know why he kept wanting to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can go by myself. It's all good.
And those mirrors in the bathroom were a little weird.
He kept
an
saying,
awkward place to put a mirror.
He kept asking if I needed to go, and I kept saying, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Uh-oh.
And he was like, are you sure?
Did you see he was wearing a tight shirt?
Yeah.
Don't go to the bathroom.
It was winter time, and he was wearing really tiny shorts. I don't know why.
I think he's a gymnast.
Oh, man.
Nice place.
But yeah, it's Leonard Ellerby usually around for these events. Always got something interesting to say. So, and you never know when we're gonna pull one of the fighters. That's always a possibility too. So we'll see what we can get for you guys. And either way, we appreciate PBC and these guys getting us out here for this event. Always fun.
I can't wait. So I'm sure we'll have lamps on at some point. Get some more stories.
You gonna go to the fight on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm going. Why do you think I'm here?
Yeah, baby. Oh yeah.
I'm a footloose, fancy-free Vegas guy.
Now you have plans for tomorrow.
I'm gonna go see the U2 immersive. I didn't get to see the show. I didn't see it live, but they have made a movie.
I did. It's not that big of a deal.
Well, evidently, I'll just get the highlights. How much? Let me tell you something. So to go see this movie of the experience. $256.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yes.
Dude, what do you think? I had floor seats to the actual show. Like I was on the floor,
not
even
a second mortgage.
Dude. And they were saying you either want to be on the floor or on the top. You want to be as high or as low as you can be. On the floor, you buy the band, everything's above you. Or you want to be high and look down. So the tickets are on the floor, they're really high, and then there's a level up at the top that are really expensive. And they kind of vary in rates.
Now, did I tell you that I almost got in a fight at the U2 show?
Well, I'm planning on fighting.
Well, I don't think you should.
I'm gonna.
But I was reprimanded by someone for talking.
Well, it's during you're in church, brother.
During the rock show, I was talking.
Well, was he singing 40 a psalm? Was he doing that? Yeah,
no,
you're in
he
church.
Was singing. He was singing a rock song.
It's Bono. You shut up.
That's
lighter,
crazy.
And you can sing along with them. That's it.
That's absurd.
Hey, we're thinking good thoughts and positive things. It's Bono. Keep it down. This is church.
Yeah.
Some of us care about such things.
It's hey, can you stop talking? I'm like, bro, we're in a rock and roll show. And then I said some choice words to him.
And you are going to fight any guy that's a big U2 fan. We're all about peace and love. Man.
Well, I think
we're about ending the troubles.
I think he quickly realized that I grew up in an age where if you went to a rock show, chances are good you were fighting. Like I grew up in the ultra testosterone fueled late 90s, early 2000s.
That's right. You were jumping around at Limp Bizkit concerts.
Yeah, we're punching each other in the face.
I was trying to end apartheid.
We're punching each other in the face.
I had bigger goals, brother.
We're kicking each other's ass, then buying a beer for the next. I mean, like
we were singing songs, feeding the skinnies in Sudan. You, on the other hand, were jumping around with a Limp Bizkit.
That's right.
I was changing the world.
Give me something
to get laid.
Give me something to break.
I was trying to have sex. You, on the other hand,
Limp Bizkit was doing it all for the nookie too.
Well, see what? Yeah.
So you can take that.
That angry generations. All those angry dudes are now running the Pentagon. Those guys are now running the place.
I know, but yeah, I think that guy quickly realized that like I was the wrong person to approach about this, especially a few beers in.
Hey, you're not a U2 fan.
Yeah, he's like, you don't belong here. I thought you were going to be like very polite and
you
say,
don't even know the handshake, dude.
"Oh, I apologize for my distasteful outburst." Instead, I was just like, "Hey, man, you really want to get your ass beat in front of your wife because I'm talking at a U2 show?" Whoa, man, it didn't need to go there. It didn't need to go there.
Peace and love.
Yeah,
I'm gonna sing a song
I will
for you.
slap you in front of your wife, friend. Is that what you want? Is that what you paid for these tickets for?
I don't want to bug you.
Please keep it down while we're listening to the show, mate. Give me a break.
The trouble is in Northern Ireland.
Freaking
Nothing compared
weirdos.
to this.
Freaking weirdos. All right. Let's hit a break, and then when we come back, we'll get in. I meant to play that Wemby sound. That's what we'll do when we come back before we get into football stuff. We'll play some sound from Wemby last night. Obviously, it'll be dejected French sound, but it'll be Wemby sound. We'll do that next. Morning Huddle 94.1.
You know, Connecticut water softeners or any water softener, you really don't think about it till you don't have it. I'm in Vegas right now, stepped into a shower this morning that was not softened with Connecticut water softener. You could tell there is a difference. And you have to kind of get away from it to realize what you don't have. If you don't have a Connecticut, I don't think you know what you're missing. I bet you woke up this morning and poured a cup of coffee and probably wiped a little bit of dust, little white stuff off that coffee mug. And then you look real close at your ice and it's kind of cloudy. I wonder why. And then you look at anything that had some water and you get that scale there at the bottom. Do you ever wonder why that's there? That's your water softener not doing its job. Or if you don't have a water softener, you can really see it. See, Connecticut's take care of things you don't even want to think about anymore. And you don't have to. You don't have to worry about that powdery stuff in your dog's bowl. You don't have to worry about that gunk that gets on your windows if the sprinkler's been throwing things off. The water softener is key to your home. It takes care of one of your best investments. And hey, it makes your tea taste even better. So what are you waiting on? Right now, Connecticut's got a deal for you. If you call them at 656 Pure, they're going to come out and put a Connecticut in your home for 90 days. And find out what I know. And on that 91st day, when you decide to buy one of those fine ones, great financing available, great products to be had, and a gift. A reverse osmosis drinking station right there on your sink. I had to pay for it. You're going to get it free. That's just for taking advantage. The water softener that was designed and built with South Texas in mind. So call 656 Pure, have them come out. You need more details? That's easy. ConnecticutSA.com. Sing it while you type it. Look, if you haven't thought about it, it's time to think about it. And if you are thinking about it, now's the time to do it. Call Connecticut today, put one in your home, and come on by, and I'm sure you'll be thanking me later.
Rising on! It's the 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Big Game Giveaway.
You asked for it, you got it!
Predict the exact score of the big game in New Orleans, and you could score $50,000. Make your predictions now at sasportstar.com.
I like this kind of party.
The 50K Big Game Giveaway, brought to you by Deextractor. Score big with Deextractor and Seguin. And 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Lowe's knows how to help you save time and money, no matter the job. That's why we can deliver supplies to your job site as soon as same day, so you have more time to get the job done. Because when you need it fast, we've got you covered. Lowe's knows pros. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes, placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Hey, Mom, I've been meaning to talk to you about some new COVID information I saw online.
Uh-huh.
I read that Black folks like us with certain conditions like diabetes, heart disease, mental health conditions, or being 50 and older, like you, are at high risk.
Boy, you sound like a commercial.
I'm just saying. I know you love your ginger teas and essential oils, but remember, there are treatment options for COVID-19.
I promise if I get sick again, I'll call my doctor to ask about my options.
Visit WeTalkWeRise.com to learn more. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here.
3 more new customer requests just came in.
Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text CORE to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text CORE to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text CORE to 200-300. That's CORE to 200-300. CORE to 200-300.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
They got great food here at the Root Pub.
You forgot about the bison burger.
I didn't forget about it necessarily, no, but a chicken sandwich sounded better than a beef sandwich. Does that make sense?
Well, no, because bison isn't necessarily beef.
Well, so what would another word for bison be? I mean, you don't say I want a cow burger. Give me the similar to beef burger. Think they know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Live from Las Vegas for the Benavidez Morrell fight. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Victor. Hot mic? Okay, cool.
Wow.
Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Oh, cool.
My mic's always hot.
Oh, yeah. Was this some kind of a remix?
Yeah, it's a wicked mix.
Oh, wicked mix. You can ride in the caddy with daddy. Oh, yeah. I'm a big-time player, yeah. Gun sprayer, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be slinging wood, yeah. Out the hood, yeah. Let it be understood, yeah. It's all good, yeah. Man, 90s rap, 2000s rap. It was simple. It was a simpler time.
Yes, it was.
Want to walk it like a doggy.
Again, I'm a U2 fan.
Oh. Well, that's because you ain't slinging wood out the hood.
Oh, sadly, I have not slung any wood.
Oh, boy. I think
I just found a nickname.
Ivan
the Wood Slinger.
Ivan Zubac was slanging wood on Wemby last night. So
gonna have to have some new shirts made.
They asked Wemby about going after Zubac after he got knocked down. Can you play that for us, Vic?
Yeah, here we go.
Frustration, it's a bunch of things.
Do you think you get a fair whistle most nights in terms of people being physical with you?
No.
Hey, welcome to the league. Yes, you're gonna have to pay your dues, brother. And you're gonna have to pay more dues than most.
And the truth is, he's probably going to end up getting more calls than other Giants get because he is so slight. Like the way they officiated Yao
was almost unfair to the man.
Well, I mean, guys in that time, you got officiated like you were the tall 8th grader.
And
like,
Shaq,
hey, you're huge. You should be able to get away with it.
Oh my God! Shaq, you could hit him with a hammer, and
well, they changed the rules.
And now James Harden, it's like, well, I got in the painted area. That's a foul.
Well, see, that's one of the things when you came up back in the day, and you were a big man. By the time you got to the NBA, you had been beaten senseless for 5 years.
Yeah.
From the time you were in high school, guys were allowed to do things to you that nobody else could get away with. And it was in high school, and then you got into college, and it was the same thing. You guys were allowed to get away with things with you that nobody else would. You big men walk off the court, and you see scratches down their arms and all kinds of stuff that's just goes on in the paint. Well, Wemby doesn't deal in the paint, and that's so there's no way for him to have ever gone through it. And now that he's going to have to do it, he's learning that there's a reason why you can't be, as slight as he is and be successful down there. There's a lot of things that he's going to have to pick up. I love the fact that he was surly post game because I think he's sick of this crap.
Yeah,
and he should be. But guess what? Everybody else
Get used to it, Bubba.
had to go through it. Tim went through it. David went through it. Anthony Edwards went through it. The most recent of the next. You think LeBron didn't get the crap beat out of him the first 3 years in the league?
I mean, LeBron historically in his career probably didn't get the whistle as much as he should have. Because they were like, well, he's so physical and he's so big.
Go back and look at the highlights when we beat Cleveland 4-0 in that series.
Uh-huh.
We beat the snot out of LeBron.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the plan. So this is just part of the transition from the becoming the superstar. And some of it's him. You're going to have to bow up and be a man, plant your feet and do it. And some of it's his team going to have to stand behind him and pull him and push him and protect him as he transcends to superstar.
It is, and it's fun. And maybe it's a Euro thing. Maybe it's an era thing. But I covered that series when I was working in Austin at the time, and I was coming down here and covering the games, and I remember LeBron them asking about do you think it's fair? Do you think it's fair? And LeBron was like, "It's the NBA." He's like, I've got to earn my stripes, and these guys have earned. And it's like he was like, yeah, I know what it is. I know the deal.
Well, he came up in Akron. He'd been playing against pros since he was 13. He knew the deal. We're talking about Wemby, who just left Paris. He was the king of the city, man.
Yeah.
And now he comes back, and he's got Zubats pushing him down on a Wednesday night. Yeah, man, welcome back to the league.
Yeah. So you can tell he's not real thrilled about it.
Well, again, I love the fact that he's mad. I love the fact that he doesn't think it's fair, but not a lot of fairness going on in the paint as we chase the playoffs. So he's going to overcome it.
They asked Wemby if does he need to get in the ref's ear a little bit more to get things going the way he wants.
It's a hard thing, to fight because it feels unfair sometimes, but it's. And of course, we talk about it with the staff, and there is some stuff I have to do to help myself. First of all, being strong and not bailing out shots, but also there is some work to do, like talking to the ref, of course, explaining myself. But it's for me, it doesn't feel like it's something I should influence. It's like I'm a basketball player. I'm here to play, and this is this is why it's frustrating. It's not my job to do politics.
Okay, except you kind of are now.
Well, as a coach, you always tell your kids, "I'll handle it. Your job is to play. My job is to talk to the refs. My job is to protect you. Let me do that. You just go play." And that's the way he was raised. And he never had to deal with this, getting beat up. And then you've got the Mitch Johnson factor. You do have a rookie coach who the refs look at him like, you're not Pop. You think Pop calls a ref, they come run it. You think when Mitch Johnson's like, hey, come here. You think they're turning and looking at him like, I'm going to run over and talk to you?
No.
And so there's that. So you don't have what he would have had in Pop. Pop undresses a ref listening.
Mitch Johnson does it, and he says,
he's just yapping.
"Where's your dad?"
Yeah, who? What? So there's some of that.
Do your
that he's
parents know
dealing
you're out?
So there is a very frustrating part of where I can see where Wemby is right now, because he is getting beaten up and he is getting fouled. But the expectation is, bro, it does not matter.
Let's hear how Wemby feels about this little losing streak that they're on right now.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I think this is I think we're on the way back from our toughest point in the season, and I think we made some efforts tonight to get out of it. So I think we're on the right way. But yeah, I mean, as much as I hate losing, losing feels awful, but winning feels so great. So it's let's not forget that it's easy to forget about winning, but it's right there. So we'll get back to it.
Brian says if this is going to be Victor's league, he needs to take it by the balls and show his president in the paint what he can do. Here's the thing, though. It's not Victor's league yet.
No.
And everyone's so sometimes we push guys, especially guys who have all this potential. We assume that they're just going to come in and dominate, and there's growing pains, man. And even the most can't miss guys, even if they don't miss, there's real growing. Like, think back, it was 3 or 4 years ago. Trevor Lawrence was the biggest prospect to come out of college football since Andrew Luck. And Andrew Luck was the biggest since Peyton Manning. And Andrew Luck nor Trevor Lawrence ever lived up to expectations.
Yeah.
Like,
one by choice and one just physically.
Well, and we assume by choice, but I don't know.
Luck would have. You felt
maybe
like it was coming.
But, I mean, Luck also played in a Manning-Brady era.
We'll never know, but we did. We felt like that was, and that was, so even by your analogy, that's 50%. Even if things worked out at their very best for Luck, you're still only batting 50%.
And these are the guys who are looked at as like, right, you can't possibly miss with these guys.
And, what struck me,
which I also remember people saying that about Andrew Wiggins.
Oh yeah. Well, what struck me last night more than anything else was, there is nobody else on this team other than the mercenary that is Chris Paul to really be the team leader. So everything falls on Wemby. When we win or we lose, we'll hear from Chris Paul, but this is Wemby. This dude, this is his second year in the league, and I kept thinking, Tim, when he got here, he had David.
Yeah,
I mean, he had David to answer why you lose 3 straight.
Which I think is why I think that's why they brought Chris in.
Absolutely,
quite frankly,
to really protect him. But and Chris is a little bit of that. But we also know this dude could be gone in 5 days.
Absolutely,
I mean, literally. So really, we're going to look to Wemby, who he doesn't have the answers. I mean, you're asking him, how's it feel to get beaten up? Sucks, man. What do you got to do to get out of it? I really don't know. I mean, this is second year in my league. All I know is what my coaches tell me to try hard, and I need to avoid the politics. He doesn't have that protective, that safety net. And even David had Avery. I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but we still had a guy that would step in and kind of take the blame and take the brunt. And David,
you need someone who, when the cameras turn on and the microphones and the recorders turn on, you need someone that people can take a soundbite from, and like. The truth is, without Chris Paul here, there was, like last year, no one cared what Keldon or Devin Vassell had to say because those guys don't carry any weight. Chris Paul, even though he's clearly diminished, carries some weight. And it's deflected a lot from Wemby. And hearing Wemby talk like this reminds me he needs a lot of deflecting still because he's still not anywhere near what he can be. And I still hope he will be. But it is a reminder of he has not taken over this league. He is a work in progress, and if he reaches Charizard form, he can take over the league. But right now, he's nowhere near that.
And lots of protection away, and we're at a very pivotal point for this season. Not in the context of Wemby's arc of a career, but for this season, what's our record of the last 10? It's not good.
It's 2-8.
2-8. We were hovering in the play-in game. The good news is, there have been some teams that haven't really quite lived up to expectations. So we're not really that far out of the way, but which makes this week's decision even that much more difficult.
Well, because now, I mean, let's face it, adding De'Aaron Fox to this team and assuming you take away a couple of the pieces that are here now, like you say, maybe Castle, let's just say for argument's sake, it's Keldon and Devin. You subtract those guys and you add De'Aaron Fox. This isn't suddenly a team that's going to win a playoff series.
No, it's not. But it is a team that tells me, though, by that move, we know that playoffs aren't that important this year. But we already have 2 of the 3 or maybe 4 puzzle pieces we're searching for. So that's in place so we can parch this season as a success in the continuum toward title chase. So maybe we count the victory with the new player instead of the wins in the playoff, but we know that that'll come when he arrives. So I'll take a De'Aaron Fox or somebody else in lieu of the playoffs, knowing full well we made a strategic move to get better next year. If we don't do anything, which is probably the most likely thing right now.
I think
because
so too.
I think you look at this De'Aaron Fox thing and say, if he wants to be here, he'll be here in a year.
Yeah.
You know, I can live without him for a year. So I'll forego that. I'm of the mind, don't do a damn thing right now. There's no need to rush this. Playoffs would be nice. There's a hurdle that we're going to have to jump. But right now, my sole goal is what we're talking about right now, is Wemby. I think everything should be focused on how do we get him to be prepared to play and do the things and get through what he's getting through. That should be our goal here. And that might include losses and more ping pong balls. But I think the goal is to get him much more comfortable in the situations that he's now finding himself.
But also De'Aaron Fox is the name that a reporter will take a soundbite from instead of Wemby.
True.
That can deflect some of that.
Yeah, they'll cover that. And part of that might be to help him, and part of that might be the decision might be, I don't want him to get any deflection.
Yeah.
I want him to have to answer these questions and wake up the next morning and go to practice and go, you know what I said yesterday? I got to work on this today.
Gilbert says, was that a Pokemon reference?
Yes.
It was. I'm not a Pokemon expert. Otherwise, I would have said what level he is before he gets to Charizard.
37th level Charizard.
I don't know what the
Dude, you're only man.
I think it's Pikachu.
Well, here's the thing.
I don't think Pikachu becomes Charizard.
You're only
I don't know.
In your current pursuit, in your current hot thing, is you're now into the trading card thing.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people who are crossover.
That's what I'm saying. Next time you're at just take 2 steps to the right. You'll be right into the.
There's a lot of.
You'll be
in
right
fact,
there.
I think
You're right in the building.
At the card shop that I go to, I think there's more people there for Pokemon cards than there is for.
You're going to have one of those cards. I'll give it 3 months. By the time we're really talking about NBA playoffs, you will own.
Because I don't understand the value of them.
You didn't know about the cards you're dealing with until a month ago.
But you know what? I'm smart enough to know. Oh, a Shohei Ohtani's worth some money. I only know Charizard and Pikachu. I don't know what else is what else is a good Pokemon.
You didn't know what a Kaboom card was until 2 weeks ago. So
but
I'm just
still,
saying, you're going to see money and you're going to chase. You're going to say, "Hey, I can make a buck off that."
Maybe so. Maybe so.
I just know the progression.
Vic, are you in the market for a first edition Pikachu card?
No.
Is your son?
No, I'll take.
I know he's got money now.
I'll take a signed Darth Vader card though.
The signed Darth Vader's not a real person.
That's truly another store.
You nerd. God, what a
or
nerd.
a Mark Hamill.
Okay, maybe I can get you. Maybe I can get you. What about a Carrie Fisher? Would you do a Carrie Fisher?
I would love a
Which
Carrie
version?
Fisher
Because she's dead.
Do I get the?
Yeah.
Do I get
the original?
Chained up to Jabba. Chained up to Jabba the Hutt. That's
no,
right.
in the white.
Yeah, I'm kind of down with the MILF, the older version.
Well, yeah, that one too, but I want her in the white.
I like
her.
autograph.
She has to have the.
I like her when she's enslaved to Jabba the Hutt.
No, see, that's too easy. I want her in the original whites from the very first one with the cinnamon rolls on her ears.
Yeah.
Do you
the white? That's what I'm.
You know a lot about Star Wars. Like, do you think while Princess Leia was enslaved to Jabba the Hutt, that Jabba had her?
Oh yes, there's no doubt.
No.
Oh, are you kidding?
I think they did. I think he did have her.
He had her chained. He had her chained.
I think Jabba the Hutt had sex with Princess Leia, and they didn't show it because it's
I know it's a kid's sex.
They do it different.
Yeah, it was a kid movie, but and the way Jabba has sex is very gross.
Very different. Lots of slime involved.
No, I think it was going to happen and never did. So she got out just in time.
I think it did.
I also think they looked down into halfway through. That's where
the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
I also think. Well, God, that was
throw down Sarlacc.
Oh, that was so nerdy what you just did.
That was remarkable.
But I also think that Jabba had sex with Han Solo when he had him enslaved. Also.
Now he was just encased in carbonite, and he escaped before he can. Anything could happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't think they were touching him while he was all carbonite?
Probably, yeah, when he's up in the wall.
In that rock.
He didn't realize it until he
I
got
know.
out. He's like,
But I
"Oh."
noticed his hands were frozen in a very peculiar way.
Aha.
That was interesting.
See?
I don't know.
All right. When we come back, I've got one more sound clip from the Spurs I want to play. It's from Chris Paul. They asked him last night how his young teammates should be handling rumors at the trade deadline. Because if you are a Castle or a Keldon or a Vassell, you're hearing your name kicked around. It's suddenly like, whoa, do I belong here?
Every time your phone pings, you pick it up.
So we'll hear from Chris Paul next. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, I hope you didn't wake up this morning in pain. I hope there wasn't something keeping you out of the things you need to do. If it is, you need to stop and take stock. Some of us have things that linger that just won't let us go do the things we want to do. A physical pain. Maybe it's a frozen shoulder, a bad knee. Maybe you rolled an ankle last weekend in a little pickup game where the honey-do list got too long and you got awfully sore. You know, there's a fix out there that doesn't involve surgery or medications to dull or hide the pain. I'm talking about fixing yourself. It's called Arosti. Arosti providers are all around San Antonio, highly trained medical professionals with one goal in mind. That's to get you out of pain as fast as possible. That in the natural possible way. What I'm saying is it doesn't involve medication. It's not about surgery. It's about your body fixing itself. And it works. I've had lower back issues most of my life, man. I put a lot of miles there, and every now and then it just seized up. I didn't know why. It just seized up, and I'd be on my back for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks almost. I went to an Arosti provider for the first time about 8 years, and I was converted. I'm an Arosti patient for life. They got me out of pain. They got me back in the game, and then they taught me how to keep myself out of pain. I want that for you. The number you need to call is 1-800-404-6050 for an appointment, or easier, go online. It's Arosti.com. They got a map of all the providers there. I bet there's one less than 10 minutes from where you are right now. They're going to accept your most insurances. And again, you don't need a referral. Call them right now. Listen, don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. There's a fix. It's called Arosti. Call them today. They're going to take care of you. When you're all fixed up, come on by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are still working closure. 1604 eastbound, Hausman to Bandera Road. Major accident here. Now over an hour delay, closer to 70 minutes. So they are forcing traffic onto the frontage road, but just might want to avoid this if at all possible. 1604 eastbound, Hausman to Bandera. 410 northbound, that connector to eastbound I-10. 18-wheeler accident blocking the interchange ramp. A crash at I-10, westbound WW White, right lane, and 410 northbound, Medina Base Road. That's a stall, left lane blocked. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
When life changes fast, you need a lawyer who's been there. AJ here for the Hicks Law Firm. Attorney John Hicks offers unique experience as a veteran and first responder to give you a strategic, results-driven approach. Facing divorce, child custody battle, or a complex family dispute, the Hicks Law Firm offers flat-fee representation from beginning to end, so you know exactly what to expect with no surprises. Visit jhickslawfirm.com for a free consultation. That's jhickslawfirm.com, a local law firm with the national resources you need to win. The Hicks Law Firm.
Guys, if you're not feeling like yourself, testosterone therapy may be the answer. Look for the VIP treatment you'll get with the experts at Synergenics Testosterone Weight Loss. Synergenics has over a decade of TRT experience. Book your appointment at synergenicshealth.com.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson, and I've represented folks here in San Antonio injured by negligent drivers for more than 30 years. If you or a family member has been seriously injured, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've heard from many of my clients that after they were involved in a collision, they would get phone calls asking them to hire an attorney. This is highly irregular and probably illegal. Any attorney that is trying to contact you either directly or through a marketing company is not the kind of attorney that you should trust with such a serious matter. Quite frankly, it's creepy. If you call me, we will speak directly. If you hire me, it will be after you and I have talked. I will explain what I can do for you, and you can decide what you would like me to do next. The phone call and the consultation are free. Getting a smart result requires that you make smart decisions along the way. And that's my job, to help you and your family make smart decisions. And that's based on more than 30 years of experience. If you've been injured in an accident, call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Take the guesswork out of buying and selling your home with Orchard. Hi, Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Will your home sell in time? Which upgrades are worth it? Can you keep your home show ready with a busy life? Orchard has all the answers. With Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, you can buy your new home before selling your old one. It's simple. Orchard gives you an equity advance, unlocking cash to buy your new home first. That's right. You don't have to wait for your old place to sell. You can move in right away, and no more rushing out for showings or constant cleaning, because Orchard sells your old home after you've settled into your new home. Orchard even handles repairs and improvements at no out-of-pocket cost to you. Their local pros know which upgrades bring you the most money, so you sell for top dollar. Buy before you sell and skip the selling hassles with Orchard. Start your free home valuation at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
This is exactly where we want to be. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for Super Bowl 59.
This is why you lift all them weights. This is why you do all that.
The Kansas City Chiefs are on the brink of NFL history, aiming for an unprecedented third consecutive Super Bowl victory. Standing in their way, the Philadelphia Eagles, hungry for revenge after their narrow loss to the Chiefs 2 years ago.
Let's go, let's go.
Can the Chiefs cement their destiny?
Yeah, yeah.
Or will the Eagles soar to victory? Don't miss a moment of this historic matchup, presented locally by Flight by England, the next generation of light beer.
It's showtime, let's go.
The action's right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for Super Bowl 59. The Morning Huddle on assignment in Vegas for the Benavidez Morrell fight. Now, live from Radio Row at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, here's AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Uh-oh, it's magic. Morning Huddle 94.1. I just noticed I went to go use the facilities.
Fabulous facilities, by the way.
And I saw there was a restaurant closure.
Which one? I don't know. The
International Smoke, Aisha Curry's restaurant, Steph Curry's wife.
Didn't make it?
Really?
Wow.
Didn't make it. So I don't know how many she made. I know there's one in the Bay Area. There was one, and then she put one here and one in Houston. The one in Houston lasted about 3 months, and it was gone. Like, that was at a time when the Rockets were going head to head with the Warriors all the time, and no one wanted to support it. Here, I think it's lasted about 5 years, but I just noticed that spot is empty.
Well, I saw some construction dudes walking around. Now, here's a San Antonio tie-in. Her food truck that she used to give out food and all that, was made in San Antonio by the Food Truck King.
Oh, okay.
So I remember when she came in with Steph to look at what she was getting. What was the specialty? If Steph was fatter, then I might.
It was like a barbecue type thing.
Well, Steph's skinny. If she had a fat husband, then I'd be, I'm gonna go eat. But
yeah, if this was Zion Williamson's,
yeah, man.
I guess Zion Williamson's baby mama.
Zion Williamson's beignet bungalow.
Yeah, now I'm interested.
Now I'm going to eat.
Yeah, but yeah, he didn't make it. So sorry to Aisha.
Well, I'll take that off the list.
Yeah,
dang it.
I don't know what she's going to do now. I don't know what she's going to do with her life going forward, because how's she going to make money?
Her husband's about done with his day job.
How's she going to make money? I guess that you think she was feeding the family on that?
Oh yeah.
That's my guess.
Oh
too.
yeah.
So there you go. That's your latest Vegas restaurant news. Celebrity restaurants closed down.
Sorry to hear it. We're not alone. We're not alone over here anymore. LA's in the house.
That's right. The Showboy show is here.
Showboys are here.
They're here partying. They're vibing.
Yeah, they brought coffee.
Yeah. They brought their own coffee.
Yeah.
Fancy coffee.
Yeah.
Look at these guys. Okay, so we were talking about Chris Paul and what he told the young guys, the young bucks on this squad about how to handle the trade rumors and innuendo.
To just keep playing and understand that a pair of lips to say anything. You know what I mean? Seriously, like people be sources said, you know, we got coaches and GMs at the gym every day. You know what I mean? Like ask if it concerns you that much. You know what I'm saying? Ask, and hopefully, you know, they'll be honest or straight up with you if you're concerned about it. But obviously, it's always a weird time for everybody. But I think every team is going to do what's best in their favor.
You know, when I hear this, getting traded now is not like it was getting traded 10 years ago.
Right.
You know, used to, you landed in a city, it was hard to leave. You know, if you were good, trading, it was hard to trade. You know, you didn't move around much, and you probably played at one high school, probably played at one college.
Yep.
And probably got drafted, never used to moving around. Now these kids, they're bouncing around when they're 18 from one college to another, 4 colleges by the time they're out. They're used to going from one place to another. They never unpack, never put roots in. Now the guys in San Antonio have put down some roots. Devin and Keldon have houses. I mean, they're here. That's a very concerning thing. And Devin didn't bounce around. He played at Florida State in high school, one coach, one team. He's not used to that. Keldon, same thing. This generation's a little bit more transient than even the most recent. So it does matter. And Chris Paul, I think, never really had to deal with it. Yeah. Chris Paul wasn't running around Clipperland worried about getting traded. He wasn't running around New Orleans when he first started getting worried about getting
until
traded.
He asked to get traded.
You're right. So, yeah, it's easy for a superstar to say that. I do think when you wake up and literally the next phone call could mean you're in Toronto for the next 6 months and you're 20 years old. And,
Rob, Toronto, how about Sacramento, California?
I mean, you could really go podunk on this. So I do think that combined with getting off a jet and that weird Paris trip, you know, that was this kind of like a wrinkle in time where you left the season and went and partied for a couple of days, but really never got off work. And then you come back and playing a tough team against coming off of a loss in Paris. I think this is the rookie or the team's wall right now. I think they're physically and mentally tired, and this is gut check time. I mean, this is really the time where you figure out who you are, where you're going. That's why this league is so hard, because it goes on for so long, both physically and mentally. And now you throw in 3 or 4 of the guys on the team, maybe 5 could very well not even be here next week. Boy, that's a difficult time and a difficult thing, again, for a rookie coach to have to deal with.
Well, we yesterday when we were looking at the games when we were doing the daily lines, and I said, man, the Kings were like 8-point favorites at Philadelphia. And I said, with all the stuff swirling around that team, like, is there any reason to think that the Kings are going to go on the road and blow out a Philly team? And sure enough, they lost at Philly.
Tyrese went off.
And unfortunately, I didn't think about it the same way and I didn't bet the Spurs game, but if I were betting the Spurs game, I certainly would have been on the Spurs. And I didn't really think about the other side of that coin of, while there's trade rumors going on in Sacramento, they're also happening here, and there's probably not a great effect when it comes to that.
I think there's going to be, over the next couple of days until the trade deadline, every team's a little worried. I mean, the ones that are in contention, there's a superstar could be gone. I think when you look at the trends over the next week, I'd be betting unders. I'd be betting, look at the team that's in the most comfortable place, whether they're way down or way up, to find some wins, because I think if the Spurs were in the right frame of mind, they'd have won last night.
I think so too.
I think if they weren't tired and they weren't dealing with all that, because they did everything right for a long time. Now the old problems propped up again, but they seemed to, at least in the first half, you know, they'd use that extra time. They're always good after a day or two of practice, and they looked like it. But got tired, got frustrated, and then also got out. They got out basketball. They got out to bully. They got, weight room.
I saw a lot of last night Sohan playing center.
Well,
and I think anytime you get to that point, you're going to see physical just mismatches. And I think Zubac going for 20-something points, which, let's face it, Ivica Zubac isn't supposed to be a 20-point-per-game guy, but if you're matching him up with Jeremy Sohan in the paint, yeah, he's going to be.
Well, look at, so Zubac has gone off. We saw Chicago, Vooch get 40. We saw Zach Edey have the best game he's had all year. All of them against Wemby in the paint, or at least all of them in the paint, not necessarily on Wemby, but on Jeremy.
Because the Spurs don't have a paint presence defensively.
Exactly. Or on the formerly known as Zach Collins. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
At the end of the bench?
It's so weird. It's so weird that you can have this world-class shot blocker and at the same time not really have a defensive paint presence.
He is a weak side shot blocker. He is not a front side. He's not Pat Ewing. He is not Rudy Gobert. He is, you name the
Hakeem.
He's not. Well, Hakeem was a bit of a weak side shot blocker too. And what I mean by that is he doesn't block. The guys' shots that he blocks are not the guys he's defending.
Right.
He's a help side shot blocker, which is a great thing to have.
They think that they've got an open shot and then a giant arm comes out of nowhere.
Four, and it matters, but when we're talking about post belly to butt defense, no, he doesn't block a lot of those shots because he gets bodied right to the rim.
Well, I still contend that is the biggest fix that needs to be made for the Spurs, that and shooting. And that's, you know what, we didn't even talk about it, but last night the Spurs 14 of 42 from three.
42.
The Clippers 12 of 24. You know, if you make 14 and they make 12,
AJ,
that sounds good on paper.
AJ, it's getting harder and harder for me to bite my tongue. Every time we start looking at true numbers with the Spurs, we got a coaching problem, man. We have a coaching problem.
I'm telling you.
We have a scheme problem. We have a leadership problem. We got to address this. We have a problem.
I don't know. I'm a very I'm a novice basketball person. Like I never played. I say never. I stopped playing team competitive basketball after 8th grade.
But you can see it. You know it when you see it. You can see it.
It's just common sense stuff.
We can't close games. We're not protecting our big. We've lost our flow.
We're chuckers.
And we're chuckers. And we can't even figure out on a closing lineup. Harrison Barnes didn't even play in the close before. Last night he closed it out. Tell me what's going on, Coach.
Well, friends, we're halfway there. Living on a prayer.
That's not Sammy Hagar.
No, we do have Sammy Hagar tickets later as well. And plenty more to discuss. We'll do it next, live from Vegas.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
Every day, a child in poverty waits for a sponsor is another day of hopelessness. There are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Just text the word radio to 83393.
At the Home Depot, it's our business to support yours. Partner with your go-to source for building your business. We can help you streamline your operations by supplying the whole job from start to finish. Any questions? Our Pro Desk is ready to answer the call with supply sourcing, custom orders, large equipment rentals, and more. Elevate your efficiency and take on more projects with the partner you can trust. The Home Depot, how pros get more done.
Transform your water with Kinetico. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. Offer ends soon.
Call 656-PURE, Kinetico.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price to have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Lowe's knows how to help make your Super Bowl 59 party a touchdown. Let us help you prep your home to host with top brands like Charbroil, Blackstone, and LG. so you can be the MVP of game day. Plus, use the Lowe's app to find what you need for a seamless shopping run. Or huddle up with our Lowe's Red Vest associates to help make all your game time hosting decisions.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, Hims can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a Colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your commute, pretty much most all our major freeway systems are slowing down. 90 eastbound 211 to 410, that's a solid 40-minute commute. It's about 25 minutes. 35 southbound Schwab Road on down to Judson Road. 20 minutes, 1604 eastbound Calabria to Vance Jackson. And on 410 northbound South WWY to Benzenkelman should take you about 15 minutes or so. So slick streets and areas, just please slow down. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time saver traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs got back into action last night, losing to the Los Angeles Clippers 128-116. In regards to the De'Aaron Fox trade rumors, ESPN NBA insider Sam Sharania says the interest is mutual, but added that Fox has a massive trade value, and San Antonio is still his preferred spot. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, what? We got a pastry tray has arrived.
What?
And our while we were working, food. I just noticed food has arrived.
Oh my!
Next spot break's going to be a long one.
So spoiled. And there's a manicure salon right next to us. Yes. I'm going to get my nails done.
I'm next up with the nails.
You're not next. I'm next.
No, I have my number. I've got 5. I got the number first. You're next.
Fine.
But they don't realize you want a pedicure.
I do. I really need my toes. I need my toes did.
You're going to go get a chainsaw.
I pay extra.
Belt sander to take care of the feet.
I pay extra. And I'll rub your feet while you rub mine.
We'll take care of it. Yeah. I'm pretty good at it.
Look at these hands.
I've had some practice. We're creeping out the LA band.
I know. These guys are like, get these guys the hell out of here.
These two dudes talking about over here.
I'm calling the police.
I'm feeling a little offended there. I'm talking about my feet.
Did you see this? Adam Silver talking about 10-minute quarters.
You know what? I heard that this morning, and I think it's worthy of discussion because it comes in on two really interesting parts. I mean, how much do we want of a good thing? I mean, we fight about football, shorten it, too many breaks. Baseball, the timeouts, the pitch changes, all this other kind of stuff. The NBA is the last to kind of try to fit into the entertainment box that is a rounded hour, Like in football, we know it's going to be 3 hours if called appropriately, and it should be, but it ends up being 3.5. In basketball, a basketball game should run 2.5 hours. That's the way it should be. But I would think if you looked at the numbers over the last 4 or 5 years, they're running closer to 3.
Yeah, college basketball usually consistently about 2 hours, and that's a 40-minute game.
And let me ask you, what do you find more now? Played at equal levels. Now, college basketball is played a very different way than pros. But what do you find more enjoyable? That 2-hour box, like soccer?
Window.
Like we know when this thing's going to be over.
No doubt. I prefer that.
It's a better thing.
Now,
right?
here's the question. How I don't know that the NBA is stuck on the same things like Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball is so old school.
And
they're so resistant to change.
Yeah, and it was also boring. I mean,
but at some point, Major League Baseball is like, we've got to change things up. The NBA, the history of the league, I'm pretty sure it's been 48-minute games.
Always.
Even though every other pro league in the world plays 40 minutes. Olympic basketball is 40 minutes.
Yeah.
The NBA is the only ones. Now, here's the question. Are you willing? Because I believe a 40-minute game would be more palatable. I think viewership would go up.
I think viewership would go up. I think those leisure days would go away.
Yes.
But
get more, but all the records.
So the argument there also doesn't hold water, because you can say, well, in the NFL, they've changed games, 14, 16, 17, 18, I mean, whatever. So they haven't cared. But, the NBA types say, well, I won't be able to break the records because there's not 48 minutes in a game. Well, you're not playing 48. You're only playing 34. And whether there's a 40-minute game or a 34-minute game, you'll play that. Now, the bench won't be nearly as important.
No.
We won't need the bench for nearly as many minutes, which spreads the mayonnaise even better. That's everything that Silver talked about. And trust me, this was strategic. This wasn't just off the top of his head talking to Dan Patrick about a subject that just came up. This is something that Silver, that's his next agenda, is to get the 2-hour package to fit not the United States market. This isn't about us. This is about giving the product that the rest of the world is much more accustomed to, the soccer model. It's 90 minutes, baby. That's it. We might add about 8 minutes extra, but that's about it. It's not going to go forever, and we can program it so much easier if we're just taking the NBA product and putting it in Brazil or putting it in Paris. It's easier to sell it. So this is coming, guys. It's just a matter of time. I give it 2 years, and we're going to play 2 40-minute or 2 20-minute halves and get out of town in 2 hours and 15 minutes.
It says here, NBA games this season on average have run 2 hours and 16 minutes. Obviously, you shave that 8 minutes of game time off, and it's easily a 2 hour product.
Yeah.
But also, here's the other thing. In that 2 hours, now you've got more time for commercials. Now, again, it's supply and demand. You're making more off the.
So get ready for it, and you're going to hear the arguments. Well, LeBron's record will never be broken. Yeah, it will. The number of minutes available is going to go down, but the number of minutes played ain't. It's just so we're going to suddenly have a Wemby in a 40-minute game only play 25 minutes. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's your plan.
But you're right that you might see guys play full 40-minute games every once in a while, and that'd be.
That's what I want. I don't want LeBron ever to check out.
If you pay for a ticket to go see the Spurs, you're not paying to see Mamu. You want to see,
and the thing is, it makes everybody's. You suddenly don't have to be a great GM because I only need 8 guys.
Mikal Bridges right now he leads the league in playing time, 38.4 minutes per game.
So the argument about, well, the records won't be broke. Yes, they will. It'll be the very same. In fact, it might happen more often because there'll be more games played because now they're not going to take every third week off with rest,
Yeah.
So I think everything makes sense. Now, I heard Kendrick Perkins react going, I don't know why the NBA players aren't complaining. Yes, they are. They're doing it passively aggressively by going, a status symbol now to the young NBA player is I'm so good, my coach said to take the night off. I'm so good that my coach has now told me I'm so valuable that on those slow Tuesday nights, they want to save me for later. It's a point of status now to get the scheduled rest days.
Yeah.
So we have gone so far astray from what we believe to be the true athletic premise that this just makes perfect freaking sense.
Yeah. And it also means probably less money for bottom of the roster guys. So I can see players being like, oh, I don't know if I like this, but listen, man, whatever. To me, remember, it's an entertainment product. And at the end of the day, you want to entertain the people. And I think this is a way to do it.
Never listen to players and trust what they say. The key one is
they've got an agenda.
Go interview an NBA player and go, what do you think about high school players turning pro right out of the box? They say, yeah, they should. I wish I could have done that. But then they go behind the curtain and they go vote. If they vote for that, they're voting themselves out of a job.
The league, yeah.
So they'll say everything in front of people, but you notice they're still not. They're still not coming. After all these years, after all this talk, we still force them to go to college for at least a year because the players don't want it.
The other rule change that got mentioned was 2 free throws being attempted on three when you're fouled on a 3-point shot.
Well, we did used to have 3 to make 2. There was when I started playing basketball, you got in the double bonus, you got 3 shots to make 2. That went away.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't.
Was that in the NBA?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a 3 to make 2 rule. You got in the double bonus, you got 3 shots to make 2.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm for that too.
Yes, there is nothing that has been presented that any NBA or any basketball aficionado would go, well, we did that before. Yeah, we got rid of that. There used to be a timeline. Remember the timeline? It's still on the court. It's not enforced.
The other thing that the rule that I would most want to see changed that I don't think they will, and I think that would have the best positive impact on the game and what people's frustrations are with the game now is extending the 3-point line again. And
well, yes, I do think so, but I don't even think we're going to do that.
I don't think they're going to do that
because there's not enough real estate to operate, and there's 3 parts to the floor. There's the 2 offensive halves in the middle, and once you start expanding the offensive half and you get rid of the middle, you have to. It affects the game so much more than you would know.
Well, I mean,
the ideal thing is, which is also a physical impossibility, is the court, quite frankly, needs to be wider.
I'd be cool with that too.
That literally, it's like. Think of every high school court in America. You can walk to every high school gym and say, guess what? You're going to have to be 4 feet wider. There's no room. I mean, most gyms can't. There's a reason why the state of Texas doesn't have a shot clock in high school basketball. And the primary one is you'd force every school district in the country to go have to spend some money that they don't have to go put a clock in. That's the primary reason it is not in the state of Texas. And we're going to go to the high schools and the colleges and go, guess what? This court that you've been playing on for 100 years, wrong size, brother.
I mean, to change, like in baseball, you play in there's different dimensions.
And the fact of the matter is, there is no regulation court. There's the 94x40 that the pros play on, but I played on plenty of high school courts and plenty of college courts that you look at and go, this isn't right. This one feels about an inch wider, or this one feels a couple inches shorter. I played on the high school team in San Antonio. Central Catholic played on a high school gym that was 100 years old. That wasn't even close to regulation size. It was just the room that they had when they built it way back when, and it was just accepted. So if there is some variation, but the NBA has to be. And if you're going to do NBA, you got to do college. You can't.
Rob, I mean, the line, the 3-point line in the college is different than the NBA line.
No, that's fine. That's different. I'm talking about changing the real estate of the court. I think that the pros and the size, you might be able to get away a little bit deeper on the edge, but that side shot is so short.
It really is too easy.
It's too easy. And really, if we expand the baseline, I think it'll expand some competitiveness. But it's just about an impossibility unless that's the first time you get it is when you go to the pros.
That's what I'm saying. I'm for that. You get to the highest level. This is what it is now.
Still, we're taking when we say that, then you go to all the owners and you go, oh, all those $10,000 seats, we're going to get rid of that row. So they go, no, we're not.
Well, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
But then it's like, yeah, you are.
Well, I mean, there is that. I think the most palatable thing, the easiest way to fix basketball, and it's not even broken, but to keep basketball in the progress that it should follow, is in the next couple of years, we're going to shorten the games. And I think it'll still be quarters. I think we need the timeouts for commercials and all that, but it'll be 10-minute quarters.
The NBA or the college basketball is the only men's college basketball is the only one that does halves, and I don't know. I've never understood why
because
they do.
it's to the benefit of the coach.
It's
Better
so dumb.
coaches can out coach you without timeouts.
I don't like that. I wish that college basketball would just go to court like every other.
If you were a better
basketball
coach than everybody else out there, I don't want timeouts either. I want to coach my guys.
Yeah. All right. Interesting stuff though, and I also think like if they were to expand the court, they were to back off the 3-point line. You know what it would do? Again, it would make big men valuable again.
You know what? I would like, if they're going to expand it, I want to expand it so I wouldn't be opposed to a 4-point line. I really wouldn't. Instead of taking the 3 further, I'd take it to the 4-point line and just, those dudes that can step out and hit 40, make it hard. Make it harder. So you're right. Make the paint more valuable by making the 3-point line further away. And really, let's separate into 2 different kinds of things. I think it might be worth a shot, but I don't know what the unintended consequence of that would be.
I don't know. I don't know that I like a 4-point shot. But I do
that distance.
I do like there be like what you're talking about. I would back up the 3-point line like probably 18 inches, like to make it where
make it hard. I get it. But all that'll happen is the 3-point
legal
percentage will
adjust
drop to about 20%.
Well, I don't know. I don't know that it would. I think at some point the analytics would weigh out that, hey, this isn't our best
And
bet.
if you're only taking deep 2s, you might as well take a 2 at the rim. That might be the answer. That might be the fix that eliminates the need for more real estate on the court.
So that's interesting to me. Although I think if you expand the 3-point line out 18 inches, you have to have more. Like there's no room for anybody on. And maybe that's the other answer is you can't shoot a 3 from that corner
That's
anymore.
not a 3. Well, I played on courts that the 3-point stopped. Went to the sideline.
Like where it turns into an arc, like that's the 3-point line. There's no corner 3s anymore. I'd be for that too.
Again, I'd like to see it, and I'd like to put my very best coach's mind is coaching against it. See what the answer is, because there's something in there that we will be surprised by.
Rin says I still think lob dunk should count as 3 points. I'm for that. Although you'd have to like at some point you'd have to identify what's going to count as a dunk, because I don't like it when they miss the lob but the guy still kind of pushes it towards the rim and it goes in.
When I used to have a practice, a game that we called in practice called touch the rim. And what it was about was every offensive possession, you had to end up with the guy that took the shot had to touch the rim following the shot, which meant it had to be a paint shot.
Yeah.
And you got half a point for just touching the rim to make it aggressive. And I do think there's some value that should be placed inside that charge block arc.
Yep.
Maybe something should be added right there, an incentive to finish at the rim. Maybe not about the foul, but if you touch the rim, it's it's something that matters, and it might make that a little bit more of an important thing.
Yeah, I like, and maybe because I grew up watching 90s basketball, but I miss the physicality of it, and I'd love to see that back. All right, let's hit a break, and when we come back, couple DC hires. The Cowboys obviously got theirs. The Raiders and the Jets have theirs as well. We'll talk about that next. Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. John Hicks, my friend John Hicks. I didn't hear you tell me that before. You should have told me when you said hot mic. Don't lie to me, Vic. Don't lie on the air. It's unbecoming. John Hicks would never lie. John Hicks is a man of honor. He's a veteran, 6-year Marine, 2 decades in the San Antonio Fire Department. Vic never served in the fire department. That's why he lies. His experience as a veteran and a first responder gives him a unique mindset when he's representing his clients. And he gives you a competitive advantage as well. If you're going through the drama of a divorce or a custody battle or child support, you're worried because you don't know what it's going to cost you. Well, with John Hicks, you do. He works on a flat fee, not an hourly deal. He works on a flat fee, and that gives you an idea of where you're at. Not only that, he's got the options of payment plans, which a lot of lawyers will never give you that option. It's just good to know when you're paying for a lawyer. It's good to know exactly what you're paying for. Guys, if you're dealing with a custody battle or divorce or child support issues, give John Hicks Law Firm a call, 210-985-8330. There's a free consultation. And listen, you want to find the good lawyer before she finds the good lawyer. I can tell you that. John Hicks is a good one. Give him a call, 210-985-8330. That's the Hicks Law Firm.
South Texas, get ready for the ultimate sports talk experience. The one and only Rich Eisen is on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. With over 20 years of NFL experience, Rich Eisen brings breaking stories, expert analysis, and exclusive interviews with sports legends to your airwaves with unmatched wit, insight, and passion. Catch all the action every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show, only on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson, and I've represented folks here in San Antonio injured by negligent drivers for more than 30 years. If you or a family member has been seriously injured, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've heard from many of my clients that after they were involved in a collision, they would get phone calls asking them to hire an attorney. This is highly irregular and probably illegal. Any attorney that is trying to contact you either directly or through a marketing company is not the kind of attorney that you should trust with such a serious matter. Quite frankly, it's creepy. If you call me, we will speak directly. If you hire me, it will be after you and I have talked. I will explain what I can do for you, and you can decide what you would like me to do next. The phone call and the consultation are free. Getting a smart result requires that you make smart decisions along the way. And that's my job, to help you and your family make smart decisions. And that's based on more than 30 years of experience. If you've been injured in an accident, call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the Cowboys have some work to do before they kick off next season. What free agents might they target?
We'll also have the latest on the De'Aaron Fox trade rumors.
And we'll talk to John McClain about the Texans' offensive coordinator search.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob, live from Radio Row at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, ahead of the David Benavidez, David Morrell fight on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hit up a delicious blueberry muffin.
Oh, I had the cream cheese blintz that I'm going to make sweet love to later.
I don't think you should do that.
Sweet, sweet love.
I wouldn't do that. I don't even know if that's legal.
What are you doing? Man, you must be really hungry.
I mean,
sorry, did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Rob just had to go one night without his wife, and he's already thinking about banging pastries.
I know.
I'm lonely. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
Jeez, man. A couple new hires in the NFL. Steve Wilkes is going to be the defensive coordinator for the Jets.
Now, where he from?
So you remember he was in San Francisco this last season.
So he's of that ilk, the Robert Saleh. So we know what he's bringing.
They've never worked together, which is interesting.
Really?
So
he just got there and left.
Yeah, but remember, he's also a former head coach. He was now. It wasn't much of a head coaching run, but he was the head coach in Arizona for a year.
Oh, I remember that. No, that
went 3-13, and then he was the interim head coach when the Panthers fired Matt Rule a couple years ago. He finished out that season.
So he's a problem solver, a fire. He puts out fires. I can tell
what
that
he
he's
is
good at that.
He's a guy who, I think anytime you're a first-time head coach, if your ego can handle it, I think it's good to have a former head coach on your staff.
Without hesitation. In fact, I would force it upon any new hired head coach like that. You got to have somebody on your staff. Yes.
So he found one in Steve Wilkes, which I think is a good thing.
I'm always curious when I don't know anything about these coaches. I really don't. But you tell me where they've coached and tell me who they coached for, and at least I have an idea of what the plan is.
But that also means that Jeff Ulbrich is not only not the Jets head coach, he's officially unemployed now. So he, hell of a beard, but unemployed.
It is a world-class beard.
Now the 49ers still finished. I mean, even in 2023, they were third in points allowed, and it's just a lot of it was injuries, I think, last year with the 49ers, but it was one of those things where Kyle Shanahan just had to move on. But I think it's a good hire. I don't want Steve Wilkes to be my head coach.
Obviously, he's tried.
But I like Steve Wilkes as a defensive coordinator. I think this is a good call. Now, the Las Vegas Raiders, here in local news, the Raiders have decided Patrick Graham is going to continue to be their DC, which is kind of a surprise.
Tell me what Crosby. Tell me what Max Crosby wanted, and it tells me he wanted him.
Yeah. And listen, I think at the end of the day, Pete Carroll is a guy who's going to be in charge of the defense anyway.
Truth. Good point.
So if you've got a guy that the players like, why not keep him around? And if you don't agree with his philosophies, who cares? You're in charge anyway.
But I do want to say the best thing that could happen to the Raiders is everybody who had a key card at the end of the season has to turn it in.
Okay.
I mean, you literally that's an institution that needs to be completely redirected from top to bottom.
Maybe so.
I mean, it really think about. I mean, prior to this mess, it was Mike Mayock and John Gruden. And Gruden, respect, good coach, good whatever. Mayock was a fool. Think about the talent that Mayock tried to inflict on the Raiders.
Yeah.
They haven't had – it's been a decade, dude. I mean, really, that's an institution that is accustomed to change. And I would fire not fire. It's just time for everybody to go. I'm starting afresh.
With Patrick Graham's interesting because he's been with the Raiders since 22. Josh McDaniels hired him.
Uh-huh.
Then when Josh McDaniels got fired, he stayed on with Antonio Pierce.
See, there's this lineage of failure. You got to get everybody out.
And his contract was expired. They could have gotten away from him for nothing. But he interviewed for multiple head coaching jobs. He interviewed twice for the Jags head coaching job. But Patrick Graham is also an African-American man. And so maybe these are interviews that people had to check a box because it's hard to look at the Raiders defense and go, oh, yeah, we want some of that.
Well, I'm proposing as impossible. It is. But I do think that there are certain franchises that you need to reboot. and this is one of them.
I mean the Houston Texans did that.
They did.
Remember?
I mean, we're talking from owner down. I
They
mean,
had to. Full
everything
reset.
flipped, and look where they are.
So I don't know. I think the Raiders are deciding that Pete Carroll's going to have enough of an influence that it's going to, and I think it will be a culture shift. Like I think it's impossible to go from Josh McDaniels, who's a multiple-time failure as a head coach, to Antonio Pierce, who had no experience as a head coach, to Pete Carroll, a guy who's one of the most respected coaches in football. I think it's going to be a culture change.
And more importantly, Pete Carroll is making foundational decisions. He's not making decisions that have to do with his longevity. I mean, he's not
worried about it. Yeah,
for 5 years.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't think he ever thought this was.
So he can truly play a role in a long-term development, and I think that's why he got hired. I can't imagine another reason why you hire Pete Carroll other than, look, dude, fix this before you leave.
Now, B. Hannon says they thought they did that with Gruden.
They did, and you know what? The hire was the correct one. They just didn't realize they'd hired his past and his friends. But the Gruden was a good hire. Mayock was an idiot.
That was a terrible decision. Terrible. That was a Raiders decision.
Yes, that was such a Raider move. But Gruden was the one right move they've made in the last 15 years.
But I think Pete Carroll is a good hire.
Yes, but that hadn't happened yet.
Especially going from a guy who just was in over his head, clearly. And I know he was like 5-4 or whatever when he was the interim, and they were like, oh, the locker room loves him. Then you saw a couple weeks in, the locker room was like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing.
You can do a lot on momentum.
Listen, these short sample sizes, these small sample sizes, you never know. They're not always believable. So Pete Carroll's got a track record, and a track record of consistent winning.
Those teams that win on adrenaline, eventually that adrenaline kind of crashes, and you look exactly who you are.
Yep. So be curious to see. I don't know that listen, the Raiders. The Raiders don't have a quarterback, and if you don't have a quarterback, you're not even a real team.
So you might as well reset everything.
So the Raiders are a long way away from being competitive, but
as long as there's a Gardner Minshew out there, there's 7 wins to be had. You can always get 7. There's always money in the banana stand. His name is Gardner Minshew.
I will tell you. Well, and the Raiders have the second pick in the draft, and they will likely be able to get whatever quarterback they damn well want.
Well, there's a quarterback coming out of Tennessee that's probably going to be looking for a job.
You talking about Will Levis?
The Mayo King needs to be freed, baby.
Stop it.
He's better on the other side of the Mississippi.
I think he'd be better in NFL Europe. He'd be better on the other side of the Canadian border.
In 5 years, when he plays the Sam Darnold role and carries the Carolina Panthers to 14 wins,
that will never happen.
You and I are going to have a conversation.
That will never happen. That will never happen. I'm willing. I would wager so much money.
I'm going to go find somebody here over at the Caesars, and he's going to give me a future prop bet.
Yeah.
On the Mayo King, taking the Carolina Panthers to the NFC Championship game in 2029.
Will Levis is the next Baker Mayfield, next Sam Darnold.
He is him.
Hey, man.
He's got all the prereqs, not living up to expectations, way overhyped, stupid commercials. He's perfect for this.
Yeah. What about bad throwing mechanics?
Well, that goes without saying. I mean, that's a prereq.
All right. Speaking of who the Raiders could pick, the latest NFL mock draft is out from CBS from Chris Trapasso has released his. So we'll take a look at that next and see where the Dallas Cowboys could be looking with the 12th pick. When I saw this, my head about spun around. But we'll talk about that next. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I got to who am I doing here? Game Day Men's Health. That's what I thought I was doing. And guys, Game Day Men's Health, they know, man, as you get older, you hit 40, things start to change a little bit. You hit 45, they change a little more. You hit 50, change a little more. And those changes aren't always for the better. And, you start to feel off. You're tired all the time, low energy. Maybe your drive isn't what it used to be. Now, that's not a problem for Rob because he wants to make love to pastries. So his drive is kicking strong. that's also because Rob has had his testosterone looked at, and it can get to the best of us, man. And that's where Game Day Men's Health comes in. They know how you feel. They want to make it easy for you. You know, they don't want to kick you around to 3 different doctors' offices. They'll do it all in one spot. You get that free testosterone test. You sit down with a licensed provider. You go over your options. And you come up with a custom plan just for you. And finally, you get those treatments. And after a month, you're going to notice a difference. Better energy, better mood, better libido. Why settle for something less than the best you? Call Game Day, 210-900-3691. They're right there, 250 East Bassey Road, right in the quarry, very centrally located, great location. And like I said, it can really, to play a pun on words, change the game. So give them a call, 210-900-3691. Feel better, be better. It's Game Day.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a trouble spot on Highway 90 eastbound. It's just past Hunt Lane. This wreck is off to the right shoulder. It's still causing about a 25-minute delay, slow from Montgomery. North side, I-10 westbound Vance Jackson. That's a wreck. It's been pushed off to the right shoulder. On 35 southbound, Schwab Road on down to Judson should take you about 20 minutes or so. And about 15 minutes, 1604 eastbound Calabria over to I-10. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
George Gets Justice. When you've been injured, you need to get George Salinas Injury Lawyers because you need someone who understands your pain and the impact an accident has on your life. You need someone who listens and is always there fighting for you and your future. When you get George Salinas Injury Lawyers, you get all this and more. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. And remember, you won't pay anything unless they win your case. Call George Salinas at 210-225-0909. George Gets Justice. GetGeorge.com.
What's up, football fans? BetMGM is giving you the chance to win up to $250,000 in bonus bet credits. It's all part of BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot, where you could be able to split the grand prize with anyone else who bet on the longest touchdown of the week. Log into your BetMGM account today and opt into the promo. Then place an anytime touchdown wager of $10 or more on the player of your choice, up to 1 player per game. If your player scores the longest touchdown of the week, you'll win a share of the $250K in credits. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada. BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot subject to rules. See BetMGM.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are unrestricted rewards credits that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the big game in the Big Easy.
It's showtime, let's go!
And the only local station bringing you exclusive wall-to-wall coverage from New Orleans. All brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. We're live from Radio Row with insider interviews, breaking stories, and all the pregame excitement leading up to the superb hour.
This is exactly where we want to be!
From the biggest names in sports to behind-the-scenes access, we've got it all.
I like this kind of party!
Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage is brought to you in part by Flight by Yingling, Circle Las Vegas, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Synergenics, Testosterone and Weight Loss, and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. Your front row seat to the backstage action, live from New Orleans, is 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Live from Radio Row at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas for the David Benavidez, David Morrell fight. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Yo, it's the Morning Huddle 94.1 Live from Las Vegas.
This is Strong Woman Don't Need No Man music.
That's right. Let's get it crunk. Yeah, Vic. You know what I'm feeling this morning.
I don't need no man.
I don't need no man. I never needed a man.
No man.
I'm independent as hell. I don't
need
need
a hat and let's go out.
I don't need no man in my life. I'll tell you that right now. NFL mock draft. The latest mock draft is out. And a couple surprises. How about a surprise at the top? And Rob, you'll love this. Because this particular draft would mean there is more mayo in the tank than we think. One more year for Will Levis is what this pick would mean if the Titans were to take Abdul Carter.
Which would be the smart move. It's not about Will Levis. It's about Abdul Carter.
I'm telling you, I've watched Abdul Carter play a couple games.
Is he Will Anderson?
That's the guy. Yeah. Or Micah, maybe.
Yeah.
That's what the number one pick in the draft looks like.
He will be. He's going to be the number one draft.
And I know Tennessee doesn't have a quarterback. I get it. But, man.
Who's their coach now?
Who did they hire? They fired
let's be honest. I think after all we go through all of the combine work.
Oh, it's still Brian Callahan. They didn't fire him yet. They should have. They didn't.
I think after all the combine work, when we finally get the real draft estimate, remember we're getting all the 2.1s and 2.2s, that Abdul Carter is going to be a top 3 as a grade when we're said and done. And I don't think as a grade, I don't think there's going to be a quarterback graded as a top 5.
No way.
But that's not how the draft goes. But I think Abdul Carter, there will be whoever is drafting second. You know what I mean? That's where you want to be. Oh, my quarterback's gone. I'm going to take him.
What's wild is the Browns are positioned second. Can you imagine Abdul Carter and Myles Garrett?
Another.
Oh, my God.
How do you say no to that other than to your owner who wants 35 points a game?
And the Titans, the time in the Titans' history when they were the closest was when they had a Javon Curse, just a game-wrecking pass rusher, and I think that's what Abdul Carter can be.
But it's Callahan.
He is to me, he is by far the best player in this draft. Now, the best player doesn't usually go number one. Usually the shiniest quarterback goes number one. But with the second pick, he's got a trade happening from Cleveland to the Raiders.
So Cleveland bailing.
Cleveland going down, Raiders moving up to take Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward are going to be make or break for some GM. I don't believe in either of them as top 5 picks. I'm certain that both of them are going to go in the top 5, and I think they're going to get some people fired. I don't know who it's going to be.
Do you think that Tom Brady has because obviously he'll have to sign off on this, right?
I would assume I would assume he's at a minimum in on the conversation.
So I will say this: if the Raiders do in fact draft Shedeur, I don't know if Brady's got an eye for talent. I act like he does, but in my experience, guys that were good like Brady think everybody can kind of do what they can do. You know what I mean? And they can't. So does he have an eye for talent? Can he coach? I don't know, but I appreciate the fact that at least a superstar quarterback that knows what it takes will play a role in this draft. So if they do draft Shedeur or Cam Ward or what other quarterback, I'll give them a little bit more opportunity for agreement, I guess, because it is Tom Brady making the pick.
Yeah.
But to me, I just don't think – I think so, both of them could be decent quarterbacks, but it's all about locale, and I wouldn't want to put any quarterback in the Raiders situation.
I think both of them. I think both of them top out at middle of the road. Oh, like genus. I'm an average NFL quarterback, and you know what? That's fine, but that's not going to win you a Super Bowl.
They could be more. They could be less. I think so much of it matters as to locale and staff and teammates, and the Raiders are not a very conducive environment for growth. Being in Las Vegas, we've already seen one wide receiver doing life. It's just not the best place to mature if you're not careful.
Yeah, and now, mind you, I'm not the best at this because last year I said, like, my favorite quarterback in the draft was Drake May. I don't know who's going to – I certainly wouldn't have taken Bo Nix in round one.
And here we said.
And Bo Nix had a pretty damn good year. I didn't think Jaden Daniels was going to be what he was.
Dude, yeah, there's guys that make $10 million a year making these decisions that are no better off than I am.
But I was also
it's witchcraft.
So far, I was kind of right about Caleb Williams.
I think and the reasons you're right were the reasons everybody saw. We're worried about his barely fragile mentality above the neck when things go south. I mean, we saw it again. One of these guys might be a success. I don't know, but I can tell you this. Abdul Carter's definitely going to be a success.
That's what I know.
I can tell you that he will be a legitimate pro, and you're going to have to pay him some Pro Bowl bonuses in about 3 years. So prepare yourself. That's not a bad thing to do.
Picking third, the New York Giants, obviously they need a quarterback. It has them taking Cam Ward.
No, I would have no problem with that. Take it. Okay? Seriously. I think this is about keep drafting quarterbacks until you find one. So if he's there, take him.
The Patriots show up at 4. They're the first team to draft that doesn't really have a need at quarterback. It's got them taking Will Campbell, the tackle from LSU. You got to protect you when you've got a good young quarterback. You got to protect him.
Tell me that's a tackle you like.
Protect him. Put weapons around him. You can't go wrong there. 5th, the Jags take Will Johnson, the corner from Michigan, who is, probably right there with Abdul Carter is the best overall prospects in the draft. Number 6, traded down, remember, from the Raiders, would be the Cleveland Browns, and that's Travis Hunter. And I've long said I'm a clear Travis Hunter hater. Go ahead and write me down on that. And if I'm wrong and Travis Hunter ends up being Shohei Ohtani, then there'll be egg on my face. But Travis Hunter's not the best wide receiver in this draft. And he's not the best corner in this draft, and people think he should go number 1 overall because he can do a little bit of both. I don't think he's doing both in the NFL, and I don't think he's good enough at one or the other to warrant being the number 6 pick in the draft.
I'll say this. I've seen him do some things on the offensive side of the ball that are ridiculous.
I'm not saying he's not good.
No, but the thing is, he does program out to be a big corner. An athletic safety. That's what I think most NFL types are looking at him for, right? Because of his high point ball skills, his athleticism, his closing speed, all those things that I look for in these new Dan Quinn kind of hybrid safety linebackers that play that 52. That's where he programs out. But I look at him, and some of the most exciting plays of his season were his wide receiver plays. So because there's so many questions, and I know he ain't playing 100 snaps in a football game, I just don't get that pick at all. It sells some tickets,
Agreed. But I don't know. And the Browns have issues, man. They've got the Browns. You talk about needing to find a quarterback, and maybe they do it in round 2 and just hope that he develops and go one more year of Watson since you're paying for it an'anyway. But
he ain't gonna be there. They literally do not have a quarterback next year.
7th, the Jets. Teteroa McMillan, the wide receiver from Arizona, 6'5" wide. He's a freak.
Wish we'd seen more of him in the bowl game.
Yep. 8th, Mason Graham, the pass rusher from Michigan, who's also very good. Luther Burden, 9 to the Saints, the
wide receiver,
small wide receiver.
He's
but
that Missouri kid, right?
Yeah,
he's good.
He's got something.
I like him.
Now, here's where Cowboy fan is going to be upset. It says here with the Bears, 10th pick. Ben Johnson, now at the head coach, understands the importance of running back, takes Ashton Jeanty 10th overall. So that now Steven and Jerry look at each other and go, what the hell just happened?
What are we going to do now?
What the hell just happened right there? I thought we were going to be the ones to reach for
Somebody call Zeke.
Number 11, the 49ers projected James Pierce, the edge rusher from Tennessee. So that gets you to 12, where the Dallas Cowboys sit. And now if you said in a world where Ashton Jeanty's off the board,
who is the best interior lineman? I don't care what side of the ball.
How about tight end Tyler Warren from Penn State? Now, let me start by saying Tyler Warren is freaking awesome.
He is, but how many times are they going back to the well? Ferguson is acceptable. I'm not drafting a tight end next.
It feels like
the Schoonmaker, Ferguson, other Cooper. I mean,
just keep throwing them at the wall.
Enough already. Let's the best line, and it doesn't. Not even interior. Tackle, edge, anybody who puts his hand in the dirt. Who's the best guy? That's the one I'm drafting.
I think you could You could look at Jalen Walker, the edge rusher from Atlanta. I think you could look at Kelvin Banks, the tackle from Texas.
That guy. I want Kelvin Banks from that guy.
Yeah,
that's the one I want.
I think there's a lot of
He's injured a lot, but I like him.
I think there's a lot of help the Cowboys could get. That tight end can't be a priority. Even though, again, I think Tyler Warren's very good. It's 6'6", 260, and he's an elite receiver at 260 pounds. I like him a lot, but that's not what the Cowboys need. That's not what they can get.
And we're not very good at drafting him. Ferguson's a good guy, but that wasn't. I mean, he was kind of a surprise. The guys that we thought were good have long since left.
Now
Don't draft these guys anymore.
That said, to me, it's no different than drafting Ashton Genty. You're putting spinny rims on your hoopty, with either one of those guys.
That's very true.
You need a transmission overhaul, and Ashton Genty is speakers, and running back and tight end are speakers and spinny rims.
See, I fall into the shiny thing. I want to chase that. I'm kind of down with finding an offensive threat. I kind of am.
You need a transmission.
I know I do. I know I got problems, but Ashton Genty is the kind of guy that you go, maybe not this year.
Otherwise, your speakers are going to be bumping, and you can't even put it in drive. It's like, why can't I shift into drive?
Yeah, but everybody who drives by me is going to hear me.
You can only get up into third gear.
I will say this: if Johnson drafts Genty, Bear fan going to lose his mind.
Who's going to lose his mind?
If the Bears draft Genty. That's not the best pick for them.
For the Bears?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Ben Johnson, you talk about a guy who's had some success with running backs. He knows what he needs to make that offense run.
Don't they have one?
I think the Bears more than anything also need offensive line.
Yeah, I was going to say offensive line. I think that Caleb, I think, is primary. Whatever Caleb needs to help his game, and maybe it is a running back, but I would draft according to his specific needs because your boats are tied together.
I agree with that. Going down the line, some other notable players. That Kelvin Banks goes number 18 to Seattle. Nick Scorton goes 19 to the Bucks. Jahdae Barron, the Texas corner, goes number 20. That'd be 3 Texas kids in a row to the Denver Broncos. And then other notable names, Colston Loveland, the tight end from Michigan, to the Chargers.
Wow, tight ends have really made over the last couple of years. Tight ends are going higher and higher. Their importance in these offenses has really started to matter.
The 25th pick, the Texans, it's got Tyler Booker, who is the consensus top interior offensive lineman in the draft.
You tell me?
He can play some guard, can play some center, but seems
so
to
the
be
Cowboys don't need that?
I think, of course, they need that. Okay. But also, I think the Cowboys are in a position to take the best offensive lineman period available.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Adjust accordingly.
That's the wise move. I know I have a feeling that Genty is going to be there. I don't get past. I think there's a lot of love for Saquon, but everybody's already kind of they've already got their offensive theme,
Yeah.
And this guy, as good as he is, ain't Saquon. So I don't think they're going to draft him.
And then 31, the Eagles. So this guy thinks the Chiefs win. 31, the Eagles has them taking Mykel Williams, the Georgia defensive lineman. So adding to the theme of the entire Georgia Bulldogs defense over the last 5 years playing for one team. And the Chiefs at 32 taking yet another Texas receiver, second year in a row, taking a first-round Texas receiver, Matthew Golden.
With the same problem.
The Chiefs.
Same guy.
Yeah.
Just not quite, almost as fast.
6-footer. Well, at least he's got a little more size, but
still missing a finger on both hands. I don't know.
Yeah, it happens. So there you go. That's the latest NFL mock draft. That is it. It would be very Cowboys to take the shiny thing and not worry about the real problems.
Well, I saw Will McClay, Cowboy VP player personnel. He's really the GM as far as talent
on draft day. He's the
dude. Just got a long-term extension. We know that Wilma loves him tight end, so it wouldn't surprise me if we saw that. I do think that the new coach was hired to do everything they could to get the next 2 years as much out of Dak as possible.
I think so, too.
And I think they're going to draft according to what they think Dak needs, which means it'll be on the offensive side of the ball.
And I'm okay with it being all on the offensive side, but what Dak needs is protection.
As long as it's
the two things I think Dak needs most: protection and a running game. And when I say a running game, I don't mean a running back. I mean guys that can block for a running back. And I think if the Cowboys go anything but offensive line, in round one, they are doing themselves a disservice. And the only exception would be if they take a pass rusher with the knowledge they're about to move on from Micah Parsons.
Finger in the dirt. I will say that Louis Riddick is a failed GM and good on TV. But I do agree with this premise that you build football
Much
teams.
like Mike Mayock.
That you build football teams on the line of scrimmage on the inside out. You start there, work inside and work your way out and then back. And if you do that right, you build yourself a team. It's the best time to do this when you're a brand new GM. You can afford to make a non-sexy pick.
See, I think on the line, I want to build from the outside in, just because I think Louis Riddick is of the old school where.
You mean like wide receiver or tackle?
No. I mean tackle.
I'm talking about there's segments. There's the line of scrimmage, the inside out. And if it's left tackle, center, right tackle, I don't care. Build that inside.
Because I think Louis Riddick thinks of it as, I want my interior line to be priority because I want to run the ball. And like that's just so it's not what the NFL is now. I think being able to protect your passer has to be priority number one.
And get to the passer number two.
Yep, that's it. Like protect him and get after him.
You look at what Kansas City does so well. They send 4 dudes. They don't have to worry about a linebacker. Send 4 dudes and use the other 7 to do their job. And
then when you throw in a random blitz,
like we saw one time last week,
it spins people's heads around. So, but I mean, God, the Cowboys are so far away from being anything in the discussion with the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think we can't start that nonsense.
Let's not slow down with Schottenheimer.
Oh no, he just got the thing you were going to take home.
I hope you left one. No, that's going to be my date later.
Yeah. God, look how he's handling it. He's like,
don't be rough with it.
Look how he's handling
it. Be
that.
gentle with that croissant.
All right, we got to hit a break. We got 1 hour left of show.
Kind of.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's Las Vegas time, so it really will feel like 3 hours.
We're going to be done working at 8 o'clock. What are we going to do with our day?
I'm hoping to run into a series of professional fighters.
Do you think that hooker is still going to be hanging out there?
I think she probably punched the clock and called it.
She looked like she had a lot of energy.
If you guys are just joining us, we arrived Vegas time about 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So I walked through about 2:30 as the clubs were closing. Everything's kind of closing down for the night. And there was one lone working girl just kind of hanging out on her phone. And I walked by her. She was wearing everything you'd expect. And she looked up at me like, anything? No? Okay. And she went down to her phone. And then AJ was about 20 minutes behind me. And she evidently had a
fish on the hook.
She had set the right bait, clamped that hook, and was reeling it in.
Had a fish on the hook. An older gentleman who was smiling and looking at her like, oh, you?
I had no idea.
You into this? Oh, you want to go up to my he might not even know she's going to charge.
Oh, you want money?
Oh, well, what's the money for? I thought we were just, you thought that chick was just taking you up to the room.
I thought I was doing great.
Yeah. Got news for you. If you think you're doing great in Vegas, you're probably not.
What exactly is a rusty trombone?
If you're picking up a chick that you think is out of your league in the lobby of the MGM, it's because you're going to have to fork something over after the date. All right. Hour number 4 coming up. Morning Huddle, 941 San Antonio Sports Star.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson, KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Think It Up. Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Hey guys, Jason Minix here from The Blitz. Have you avoided getting your T levels checked? Why continue to live with low energy or low libido potentially caused by low testosterone? Make a New Year's resolution and go to Synergenics. Their personalized TRT goes beyond standard treatments, and they have GLP-1 weight loss options as well. For current patients, Synergenics offers a $150 referral credit whenever you refer a new patient. Get started. Book your appointment at synergenicshealth.com. SYNERGENX health.com.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries.
we will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf. Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Jackson Hewitt makes taxes feel like a yacht rock song.
Breeze, give me my biggest tax refund, please. You, me, and a lifetime accuracy guarantee.
And now get $100 just to try Jackson Hewitt. Does your tax person do that?
Say goodbye to that no guarantee tax guy.
Ready to sail through tax season? Go to Jackson Hewitt and you'll be
Reeling in the refund.
limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
On Super Sunday, you could be the crunch time hero. PorkRinds.com is bringing you a game-changing twist to your big day because it's also Pork Rind Appreciation Day. The crispy, crunchy, crave-worthy snack you love deserves its moment. PorkRinds.com is celebrating by giving you a chance to win tickets to the 2026 big game in Santa Clara. Enter at PorkRinds.com and become your own crunch time hero. This Super Sunday, make sure your snack game is on point. Celebrate Pork Rind Appreciation Day. Get in on the action at PorkRinds.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a trouble spot on Highway 90 eastbound. It's just past Hunt Lane. This wreck is off to the right shoulder. It's still causing about a 25-minute delay, slow from Montgomery. North side, I-10 westbound Vance Jackson. That's a wreck. It's been pushed off to the right shoulder. On 35 southbound, Schwab Road on down to Judson should take you about 20 minutes or so. And about 15 minutes, 1604 eastbound Calabria over to I-10. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs got back into action last night, losing to the Los Angeles Clippers 128-116. In regards to the De'Aaron Fox trade rumors, ESPN NBA insider Sam Sharania says the interest is mutual, but added that Fox has a massive trade value, and San Antonio is still his preferred spot. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 4 of the Little Bitty Baby Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Benavidez and Morrell on Saturday night, live on Prime Video pay-per-view. Be there or be a dummy.
We'll be here.
We'll be in the building. Yeah, you be there. If you know, in San Antonio, it's hard to get. It's hard to see. Those seats are far away. but you can still, watch everything we're watching.
I'll wave it to the camera.
Yeah, we'll wave at you. Yeah. We're gonna wave, no doubt. This is these events. I was talking down there to the guy from Miami. He is he's a big proponent in the Browns have to find a quarterback because he believes that the Browns are trying desperately to find a way out of Deshaun Watson's deal. Like they're going to be done with him.
Well, I think that he will never play another game with the Browns.
I kind of
they
think
know
so,
that they don't have a quarterback, and they don't really care. They got so much to do. They're going to lose a bunch of games anyway. So go get Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the right move. I don't know if Gardner Minshew's the right, but find something, anything that's not Deshaun Watson or Deshaun Watson adjacent. How about that? Elsewhere in the association last night, SGA 52, but the Thunder lose. If you told me
he got okey doke. Who'd they play?
They were at Golden State. Remember,
Kerr,
they were like 11-point favorites at Golden State.
Well, Pop was always notorious, especially against guys like Russell Westbrook. And SGA is getting to the point where he can score whenever he wants. Yeah. He is that good now. Whenever he wants to go get a bucket, he can go get it. And every now and then, a coach like Kerr or Pop pulls an okey doke and allows him to go get everything he wants. Go get 50. We'll all applaud for you while you score. Only problem is nobody else is playing.
Yeah.
And I think I didn't see the game. I saw the numbers bounce. I get the sense that Shea had an awfully easy night and couldn't quite figure out what to do. But I guess I'll just keep shooting. I mean, they're leaving me open. I'm going to go get 50. But his team ended up losing because the rest of the team didn't play.
Second time in a week that he scored 50 points. The first multiple 50-point performance, like the first guy to do it more than once this season. The third player in franchise history with multiple 50-point performances in a season, joining, no surprise, KD and Russell Westbrook, and is now the scoring leader at 32.5 points per game.
And you're now just about certain MVP. I can't imagine anything happen over the next month that would raise their team to the caliber that Oklahoma City is as a whole, or him.
He's the leading scorer.
Yeah.
He plays on the best team in the NBA. He's the MVP.
And he is such a Tim Duncan clone. He
does
what's necessary. That's all he does.
And he also was, when they asked him about the performance yesterday, he's like, I don't care about that. We lost.
Yeah, you get those great players in a situation like this. I could, I'm wide open. I got to take the shot.
He's like, I don't care about scoring 50 points. We lost. It's no fun. Like, it sucked.
Yeah, well,
I mean, he's everything you want. He's everything you want in your superstar because he doesn't act like a superstar.
Absolutely, I'm telling you, he is Tim Duncan 2.0.
And that's why I think the Thunder, because quite frankly, and I don't know that everybody's fully aware of him yet, but Chet Holmgren has a lot of the same mentality. Those two guys and some of the pieces that they've got around them, this team is going to be really good for a long-ass time.
Yeah, they will. I don't know how much or how. I know they're excited to get Chet Holmgren back, and he is going to make a difference defensively. But you're throwing a brand new part into a very well-oiled machine. And there's going to be, when he arrives, there's going to be a hiccup or two. It's not going to be easy to get him back in on this team. Now, last night, it would have been nice to have him. But, I watched this team minus Chet blow Cleveland right out of the water.
Yeah.
It's an RPP, but it's not going to be easy. This is going to be a step to bring in a guy who'd make such a difference on that team. I mean, he demands attention defensively and is such an offensive help that it'll change their dynamic. They'll be better for it, but they're going to suffer in the short term when he gets back up.
Yeah. And we were talking about Jalen Williams before the show.
Now, let's talk about this for a second, because this plays into something in a much bigger picture. Remember, we have Atlanta's pick. Atlanta has played well above expectations but now they lost one of their young studs for the year. As we start dangling draft picks and talking De'Aaron Fox and number ones this year and next year and the following year, this Atlanta pick is suddenly going to get more valuable, I believe, because they lost a dude that mattered. That they lost, I guarantee you, without Jalen Williams, they're going to lose 3 games.
No, Jalen Johnson, you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, with Atlanta. I'm sorry, you said Jalen, I went the other way.
That's all good.
With Jalen Johnson blowing his shoulder out, and we're talking about trading number 1 picks, that Atlanta pick might suddenly get a lot more valuable over the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, they confirmed that he is going to have surgery next week. And is going to miss the remainder of the season.
I was reminded by that of my son just a second ago, and I had not considered that as we weigh the different offers for De'Aaron Fox, and everybody wants this year's and next year's and the following year's number ones, either ours, Atlanta's, or Chicago's. Well, now we got to pay attention to who has those picks and how they're playing, because it will be a determining factor as to whether you want to move.
Yeah, Jalen Johnson, a 19-10 guy. Yeah, that's going to hurt them.
So when you look at that and you go, well, look at where the Spurs are currently. Trending down.
Sure.
You look at Atlanta, who obviously will be trending down. Those picks this year suddenly will get more valuable by the day.
Yeah. Now, the Hawks sit at 22-25. The Spurs 20-24. Which pick do you think is better?
Atlanta will probably end up with a worse record.
I kind of think that way too. And now, mind you, Atlanta has no incentive to tank. They've got no incentive to lose games this year.
No, not really. But it's going to be that much more difficult to win.
Whereas you could see a world where the Spurs do have incentive to not win.
Boy, these 5 days are going to matter.
I
mean, the next couple of days, I say matter in the import as to which direction we know we're going.
I say that the Spurs have already won 20 games. I don't remember the last time a team that won 20 games in the whole season ended up with a top pick. Like, it's so rare.
Well, yeah, it has
but
happened.
it does happen. You're right.
Spurs pulled into Tim Duncan with a pretty good record.
Oh, yeah.
I do recall the Los Angeles Lakers in a rather skillful move drafting James Worthy number 1 after winning a title. So it has happened.
I remember the Magic the year after they drafted Shaq.
The penny shows up at the door.
It was Chris Webber that they traded, but they got the number 1 pick, and people were like, well, that's not fair.
It doesn't seem right. So, I mean, I'm not a proponent of tanking just to go for Cooper Flag, but again, with every passing day, it might the value to us improves, but also everybody else. I mean, everybody else is looking at Atlanta going, wait a minute, those ping pong balls just added 3 or 4, so maybe we should get in on this just to get the ping pong balls. So I think it helps us in a couple of ways. There's more value there to give, but there's also more value to keep.
Yeah. And you know what, man? I think after the last 48 hours of thinking about it,
what's the point?
I mean, if you can get him, cool. Don't give up the world for him, because the idea of Castle to me is just off the table. I don't really care as much about draft picks, but don't give up everything for this dude, because
this is something that my son sent to me, and I have also seen floating around. We've talked about a 3-team deal. It would probably require, when we're talking about a deal of this size, and this one would include the Bulls.
Okay.
So the Sacramento, I'll just tell you who acquires and what is sent. So the Bulls in this deal would acquire Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes, Trey Jones, and Malachi Brenham, 3 Spurs. The Kings would acquire Zach LaVine and Talen Horton-Tucker from the Bulls, and 3 number 1s from the Spurs. This year's Atlanta, and the 27 number 1 that would keep that 26 pick, which I think the Spurs are zeroing in on that AJ Debinca kid who happened to be in Paris while they were playing there, but that's another story. And the Spurs, at the end of the day, after giving up all those picks, would acquire Torrey Craig and De'Aaron Fox. Now, the good news here is the developmental dudes are still here. There's still Devin. There's still Keldon. There's still an opportunity to see how those guys play out. You've gotten rid of the chaff that you were going to get rid of anyway, and you still have that 26 pick. But suddenly today, that 27 pick, or this year's pick, got a little bit more valuable because Atlanta is not going to be what we thought they were even 4 days ago.
Yeah. Torrey Craig, by the way, shooting 43% from 3 this year.
Yeah, it fits. I mean, this is one of those deals where, hey, man, I'm not overwhelmed, but if everybody is just kind of happy with it, that normally is a good deal for everybody. Spurs keep the guys that I think they would like to keep, Castle included.
Yep.
They're giving up a couple of number 1s that could turn into one of the greatest players ever to set foot in either Cooper Flag or Depanza.
Or could turn into the 8th and 11th pick and just be two guys who you never hear
could
from.
be a couple of slaps. So this is one of those deals that I would certainly consider. I could be talked into it.
Yeah.
You know,
would you rather keep one of this year's picks and send off next year's?
I want either this year or next.
So you don't care which?
You that. And since I have 2 this year, I would be willing to part with one of them this year, but I want to keep this year. You know, I mean, when you have just a vague opportunity to go get a guy like Cooper Flagg, who really is, even though he's on the heels of the next, he's a generational player. We just happen to have a couple come down the pike real close together. So I'd like to be in that field.
Well, and I'll be honest, from what I've seen so far, and I've watched him a couple times, and it's not necessarily a position of need for the Spurs, but Dylan Harper is
excellent.
He's so freaking
big
good.
Old guard, and I'd love to have that.
And the kid from Baylor, VJ Edgecombe, is very, very good. I'm not big on Ace Bailey, but you know, some people are. This Kasparis Yakashonis, I like
the Illinois kid.
There's a bunch of players. Trey Johnson, there's a bunch of guys.
There's talent there, so I'd like to hold on to one of those. But this is of all the deals that I've seen floated. And I'm willing to part with Keldon or Devin if I'm the GM, but not both. And I'm certainly not trading Steph. And if I got a deal that
you're not willing to part with both for if it brings you back,
I want one or the other. I'm not sending both. I'd
send both in a heartbeat.
And I'd like to keep Devin. I really would. I think that he might not be an all-star, but he could be an all-star on my team. But I don't want to give up both, and I want to hold some kind of sway in the next 2 years in this draft. I do. This solves both of those.
I think I would rather give up next year's pick and keep one of the picks from this year.
I wouldn't argue with that. Of the next 3 years, 27 so far down the road, I don't know. But
because for
2
me,
years,
I've heard you say Cooper Flagg and then AJ DeBanza next year. Like the likelihood that the Spurs get one of those 2 picks is so outlandish. But I know that this year there's going to be players in like 8, 9, 10 range that
could fill the bill for exactly what we require. So I won't.
And I don't know what next year will look like. Those are a bunch of high school kids.
Yeah, and the 27, we're talking about high school sophomores and juniors. Yeah. So I'm not ready to really kind of dig into it. But I do want to play a role in this year's draft. And you're right, it's slim and none. But just like any lottery ticket, I'm not going to win anything unless I hold the ticket. So I'd like to be in the room when they start pulling those balls, and I might get lucky.
Yep. All right. Let's hit a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at what's going on in the world outside of sports.
Is there something going on outside the world?
Well, yeah, a helicopter ran into an airplane, or an airplane ran into a helicopter. I don't know who's. We got to find out who's at fault. Whose insurance is covering this?
This is awful. Let's find some better news.
Well, we'll
something happen in Florida?
We'll probably do. Yeah. There's always something in Florida. We'll do that next. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Got to tell you guys about Karbach Brewing. My good friends over at Karbach. Can't wait to get back and crack one open out of my fridge, unless Rob's son drinks them all when he goes over to take care of Blueberry. But Karbach's got something for everybody, man. They've got that Crawford Bock, which is my favorite. That's what fills my fridge. That's my go-to. But if you're into something, you want something a little more hop forward, they've got the Hopadillo. They've got the Rodeo Clown, double IPA if you're into that. They've got the Love Street, which is their blonde style Kolsch, which is their top selling beer. It's very, very easy drinking. Particularly in the summertime, I like to drink that stuff. And then they've got a new one out called Hoplectic. It's their seasonal IPA, great recipe, and it's all over San Antonio in draft and package. You're obviously gonna be able to find it in the HEBs and the liquor stores, but Karbach's at more restaurants and bars than you would imagine. It's really all over the city. They've made it a point to get their beer all over San Antonio, and they think you're gonna like it. So when you're out this weekend, I know you're not going to be drinking as much as Rob out here in Vegas, but when you do get yours this weekend, go ahead and ask your bartender to please make it a Karbach.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We did clear that accident, 1604 eastbound Pat Booker Road. Traffic now flowing freely. On 410 westbound Northwest Military Highway, this wreck is now off to the right shoulder, so this should be clearing soon. And we do have a wreck on the west side at 151 eastbound before you get to West Military Drive. It's causing about a 10-12 minute delay. Stop and go from Westover Hills. And Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This is exactly where we want to be.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for Super Bowl 59.
This is why you lift all them weights. This is why you do all that.
City Chiefs are on the brink of NFL history, aiming for an unprecedented third consecutive Super Bowl victory. Standing in their way, the Philadelphia Eagles, hungry for revenge after their narrow loss to the Chiefs 2 years ago.
Let's go!
Can the Chiefs cement their destiny?
Yeah!
Or will the Eagles, swords of victory? Don't miss a moment of this historic matchup presented locally by Flight by England, the next generation of light beer.
It's showtime! Let's start!
The action's right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for Super Bowl 59.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
Lowe's knows how to help you save time and money, no matter the job. That's why we can deliver supplies to your job site as soon as same day, so you have more time to get the job done. Because when you need it fast, we've got you covered. Lowe's knows pros. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
How often do you, as your man, think about the Roman Empire?
Why do we have to call it Roman Empire? I mean, just call it sex.
Oh, so you do think about it.
Mike, I don't think that sex... Explain your point.
Turley's parents made the mistake when he was 11 years old of letting him watch the film Caligula. You shouldn't see that when you're 11, and it ruins you. And Turley's now a twisted individual.
Exactly right.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, Hims can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
In San Francisco. And the Cowboys hired a special teams guy. It's hard to believe I used to do that for a living.
It really is.
He's a special teams guy.
Cowboys hired a special guy.
30 seconds comes up quick. Huh?
He does, man. Well, my wife says. Did I say that out loud?
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Broadcasting from Radio Row at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas ahead of Saturday's Benavidez Morrell fight. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You hear that red rocker, baby?
I can't drive it.
We're giving away tickets to go see Sammy Hagar.
Which Sammy? The Van Halen Sammy?
Well, he's not in Van Halen now.
The Cabo Wabo Sammy?
The chicken foot Sammy Hagar?
The 3-lock box?
Cabo Sammy.
The Cabo, that's the one. That's
yeah.
the one I like.
Oh, yes. Here's how I'm going to do it. You know what? I'm going to give these away on the Brigade Bar. I'm going to reward them because they're good to us, usually.
Well,
some people are not. Some people tell me that I blow.
Picking fights.
But you know what? If you're the kind of person who hasn't told me that I blow today on the Brigade Bar, you've got a chance to win. So what I'll do is I'm going to ask you a trivia question about Sammy Hagar.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right. Then you're deep.
This isn't like some deep cut. This should be some like.
Okay.
If you want to go see Sammy Hagar, you'll know the answer to this. How about that? That's pretty.
I'm listening.
I want to know. Sammy Hagar was on 4 Van Halen albums. The very first one he was on featured the song "Why Can't This Be Love." That was the biggest hit on this album. I want to know the name of the album. You're the first person in the Brigade Bar to put the name of the Van Halen album that was the first of the 4 Van Hagar albums.
I had friends that you mentioned Hagar with Van Halen, and they threw up in their mouth a little.
Dude, I can appreciate both.
Hated him.
I can appreciate both Van Halens.
I wasn't. I mean, I liked the OG, but he was all right for me.
Yeah, I mean,
they did. It was not David Lee Roth, and it did not matter who it was. It was not going to fly.
They were out. So first person to name that album, you're going to see Sam Hagar at the rodeo. Rodeo, baby. And if no one gets it, then I'll go see Sammy at the rodeo.
Manny got it, I think.
Manny got it?
Go ahead, Manny.
There you go. I think Manny did get it. Yep. Boom. We're a few seconds behind, but Manny got it. Manny, call in and talk to Vic, and he'll give you some tickets to go see Sam Hagar, the Red Rocker.
I wonder what night of the rodeo that is.
I don't know. I bet it's a Friday or Saturday night. That's got to be one of the bigger shows, right?
Easy. Right after Styx.
You're a hater, Rob. I know. You're a hater. Yeah, the answer was 5150, by the way.
Yeah. I don't know. I blew him up like that. I don't
know what's wrong with you.
I don't know why.
Yeah, what's wrong with you? When he was in that band Chickenfoot, and it was Michael Anthony was from Van Halen was in it with him, and then it was Joe Satriani and
guitar virtuoso.
And what's the guy's name? The drummer from the Chili Peppers. It looks like Will Ferrell.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Chad Smith. That was the.
I'll take your word for it.
That was the band Chickenfoot. Was not the Red Rockers' best work.
I wasn't really down with the whole Chickenfoot thing.
Yeah, not the Red Rockers' best work, but what are you going to do? They can't all be big, massive, mega hits. Like, why can't this be love that I'm feeling?
Did somebody else do that one too?
I don't know. Probably. All right. Let's see what. Like I said, I like to see what's going on in the world outside of sports. Rob doesn't want to talk about.
Well, I come to sports as a safety, as a soft, protective
Well, this isn't
landing.
sports.
Well, I know, but I don't want to. I mean, if I needed news and bad news, I'd go someplace else.
Now, let's talk about Emily Hernandez.
Let's talk about her.
Emily Hernandez was in trouble because she was part of the January 6th riots that went awry.
It was
She was holding a she was the one who had the Nancy Pelosi nameplate.
So she was actually rummaging around.
Oh yeah.
Right, so we have video of this. All right.
She pleaded guilty for her involvement, and she was going to be in big trouble. But
powers that be.
President Trump came in and said, "You did it for the right reasons. You are now pardoned. You're one of the goods. You're not a bad. You're a good. And you're free."
Did she prove the negative?
You're very free. But wait, unfortunately, she's not free because now she caught 10 years in prison for a drunk driving crash. It's like you're pardoned.
Some time in a can.
10 years.
Had she been in prison?
No,
jail?
she just got sentenced.
Oh,
since she's been pardoned, she's gotten sentenced. So she was like, "Oh, finally, I got this off." No, damn it.
This proves there's some karma in the world.
Yeah,
somewhere.
You still going to the Who Scout. Now maybe he'll come and partner for that. I don't know.
How much money she got?
I'm
a little donation. There's a little this for that. A little quid pro quo.
I think I already did you one favor. I cannot do another. I cannot.
Is she good looking?
Looks pretty good.
Well, that helps. And the whole
looks all right.
You notice he hires well. You notice all the people walking around that White House? That's some tight skirts.
Pretty women have more opportunities in this world.
I would say that, especially under certain administrations.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. And your administration would be no different.
I hire according to how they reflect on me.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
A man is obsessed with finding Bigfoot. He has said, you know what, I don't care what anybody believes. I'm going to find this monster. He is 57 years old. He's been all over British Columbia, all over the United States, Pacific Northwest. And
he's found his passion.
Now, to do that, just to be able to spend that much time and that much money looking for a
mythical beast.
Well, what some would call mythical, like
most like normal people.
But to have a wife who's understanding of that would be a value. Well, unfortunately now
so there's a wife involved.
Well, there was.
Oh, okay. Now we get the whole story.
Unfortunately, now she is divorcing him. The final straw apparently was that he was gone on a camping trip to go, look for Bigfoot, and
hanging out with Mrs. Bigfoot.
He took an ex with him.
Yeah, there you go. Hanging out with Mrs. Bigfoot.
So he told his wife, "I'm going to hunt for Bigfoot," and then he somehow convinced his side piece to go with him on a Bigfoot hunt.
Well, she believed in his passion, and his wife, as is typical, held him back.
I'll be honest. If you believe in Bigfoot and you find a woman to marry you, the odds of you finding another woman who will have sex with you knowing you believe in Bigfoot are so slim.
Well,
this guy found both of them. That's incredible.
He's also chasing Bigfoot, so standards might be a little low. I think I could.
You know what might have happened? He might have been making love to this woman in his tent and just thinking that she was Bigfoot.
Well, there's anybody who devotes. First of all, don't you? I mean, to devote your life, to decide that the rest of the world, the past, they're all wrong. That there's this thing out there that I'm going to devote my life to finding. It's a wavelength that I can't even begin to understand. But I do think that there's a lot of people that operate on that plane, and he found two of them. Good for them.
Now, before as the divorce was entering its final stages,
I'm not sure there's a lot of money involved in this divorce. I don't think they're dealing with it.
Well, he's asking her for spousal support.
Yeah, see.
His claim for money from his former wife was based on an accident during a previous Bigfoot hunt that left him unable to work. So now he can't work. All he can do is look for Bigfoot, which even blows your mind more that he found another woman willing to have sex with him while he looked for Bigfoot. He doesn't even have a job.
Well, he's got a calling, which is more important. He's got a purpose in
he
life.
slipped on an icy staircase and sustained multiple injuries, including a fracture to an ankle and vertebrae that's left him unable to work.
So he can't. So he had a broken back. So he can't even really walk through the woods.
Right.
So he needs to get this woman to carry him.
But the judge said, well, the claimant continues to enjoy camping, fishing, hunting, riding quads, and exploring British Columbia for Sasquatch.
Yeah, it's part of his gig.
So I'm going to go ahead and she said he could he could find employment if he wanted.
Mr. Conspiracy. What do you think? Is there a chance that there's one out there? That there's something weird running around British Columbia? Or
like a chupacabra?
No, I'm talking about some kind of Bigfoot, some kind of Yeti, some kind of big ice monster, or a big bear man.
We would have had one already.
That's my belief, right?
Yeah, we find those things. All right. What like you don't. Let's face it. You see these pictures on Facebook. Sometimes these guys who go to Africa and hunt rhinos and giraffes, they pay hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes to go on these hunts.
By now, yeah.
You don't think somebody would value having Bigfoot hanging on their wall?
I agree. I don't get that because of all the things to chase. This is rather finite. I mean, we've been here a minute. Now, if you're telling me there's some kind of giant sea monster, I'm more apt to believe that.
I am too. Those are harder to find. A judge has she's punishing a woman named Rhiannon Evans, who's 25. She is facing charges over aggressive farting. Vic, this isn't funny. This is a serious matter.
Sickness.
This gal who's 25 has sent a bunch of videos to her boyfriend's ex, who she says these videos cause her stress and anxiety, as she would place the camera on her bottom and fart directly into the camera.
Okay.
She sent 3 videos on December 22nd and another 4 over the next few days, each of them showing her passing wind, her face smiling at the camera.
That's a big camera.
It is. Well, she's a.
I mean, is she looking down, or I'd like to see the camera?
She's not a small gal.
Oh, here we go.
But apparently the farting that she was doing into these videos was very aggressive. Not playful farting, angry farting.
That ends with an RT, right?
How do you control
We've gone
that?
from fart to starting with an SH.
I don't know.
Because you go too aggressive, that turtle comes out of its shell.
Yeah. Well, now she's had to pay 300. This is in Britain, by the way. 300 pounds, $100 or 100 pounds to her victim, and 199 for court costs. And she will also have to carry out 15 rehabilitation sessions.
She sounds like a lovely
and
girl.
has to abstain from alcohol for 2 months.
Sounds like a girl you wouldn't want to have left.
So be careful. Be careful who you fart at out there, guys. It's not as safe as it used to be to just send videos of you farting to your boyfriend's ex.
Normally this would be silly, but I'm kind of down that the British have a way to find this girl. I mean, in America we just laugh it off like ha ha ha. And this is like that's repugnant. You know what I mean? That's just damn. That's awful. So just on general principle, give us 300 pounds and you're gonna have to go to some kind of counseling.
I'd like it if you're
awful.
I would like your wife to start texting like your college girlfriend
and just
videos of her farting.
Blast like farts. Like, you know what? This isn't really illegal, but you're gonna have to pay me some money. You're gonna have to.
What's the crime here again?
I'm not sure this is a crime. It should be. I think
it's got to be.
But you're
somehow
you're gonna have to do something. $300. Just
get out of my office.
Buy some new underwear, for God's sake.
Vic, how would you feel if your wife's ex-boyfriend was sending you those types of videos?
I don't know. I would probably ignore it. I wouldn't believe it for one.
First of all, and if he ain't got $300 to pay.
Vic's like, I would instantly take my pants off.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Why? That's not nearly aggressive.
Why?
Oh, man. Oh, man.
That's awful.
Yeah. And finally, Roseanne is back at it, and she's got a new show that I'm sure will be canceled here in the near future. It will be 4 to 6 episodes. Is what she calls a cross between the Roseanne show and the Sopranos. It centers on a small town farmer in Alabama who is saving the United States from drug gangs and China.
All right. Sounds like a worthy calling.
She grows and sells cannabis and magic mushrooms. And she says, it's silly and out there. It will contain very offensive ideas and a lot of swearing. I live with my daughter and her husband and their 6 children on a farm, and they have goats running through the house and stuff. It's based on my life as a farmer in Hawaii. They save America with guns, the Bible, petty crime, and alcoholism. It's kind of like the Coen brothers thing. You know, I've always thought of Roseanne as the third Coen brother. Like
she is brilliant and masterful in her comic.
What a storyteller.
She is. Now, what network is this sitcom going to be on? Are we I'm sure it's going to be streaming. I don't think we'll be broadcasting that over your CBS family of networks.
I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be streaming. It does not have. It's being pitched, so it's not.
So this isn't even done yet.
Okay. I don't think it's even done.
It ain't going to happen then.
Yeah,
unless Fox picks it up.
They probably will.
She says, if Hollywood doesn't buy it, then I'm just going to make it myself.
Go ahead, Roseanne.
Does anybody in Hollywood like America or the people who watch TV? Because the people who would watch TV would really like to see a show where working class people win against the enemies of America. That's right. Yep. I mean, I am against the enemies of America. I'm,
most of them.
Almost all of them.
Yeah.
But I will say, this probably goes over better now than it would have, say, 3 years ago.
I don't think it's a surprise it's set in Alabama.
I don't think so either. All right. Let's hit our last break of the day. And we'll come back and we'll take a look at the daily lines live from Las Vegas for Benavidez, Morrell, live from the MGM. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Lowe's knows how to help make your Super Bowl 59 party a touchdown. Let us help you prep your home to host with top brands like Charbroil, Blackstone, and LG, so you can be the MVP of game day. Plus, use the Lowe's app to find what you need for a seamless shopping run. Or huddle up with our Lowe's Red Vest associates to help make all your game time hosting decisions.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for my good friends over at Prize Picks. It is now or never. The big game is almost here. Don't miss out on the last big one of the season. And Prize Picks is the absolute best place to win cash while watching the big game. And I'm talking about serious cash, 1,000 times your money. And it is so easy to do. And on top of that, we've got money for you. Just check out the promos tab to tail any of our super sweet Millie winners. Big game lineups, you can get them. If you tail a lineup that goes 3 for 3, you can win up to $1 million. That's part of the promo finds. That's why you go to Prize Picks. I'll tell you what, you want some cash? Use the code Alamo. You get $50 instantly after you play your first game. That's a $5 lineup with 2 times the money. Let's go play Prize Picks. You've been putting it off all year long, or you've been playing along with the other 10 million. Prize Picks is the place to be. Go run your game.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
What does it feel like to file with TaxSlayer and get your guaranteed maximum refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
All your refund has belonged to me.
Using the power of TaxSlayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
Oh, not fair. You use TaxSlayer.
Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
It's the 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Big Game Giveaway.
You asked for it, you got it.
Predict the exact score of the big game in New Orleans, and you could score $50,000. Make your predictions now at sasportstar.com.
I like this kind of party.
The 50K Big Game Giveaway, brought to you by Detractor. Score big with Detractor and Seguin and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Live from Las Vegas for the Benavidez Morrell fight. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Now, this is some Vegas stuff right here, baby. We're about to go hit the club right now. The 8 a.m. club scene in Vegas is friggin' wild.
8 a.m.?
Yeah, Vic, it's 8 a.m. here, baby. Drinks are half price at 8 a.m. I'm going to be passed out on mimosas.
Nice.
Passed out on the floor of the casino. They're gonna have to drag me off.
I think I'm going to play some cards today.
Yeah. Gonna celebrate.
A little blackjack, just me and the dealer hanging out.
That's the time to do it, is at 8 a.m. It'll just be you and the dealer.
Me and the dealer and some fried eggs.
Hey, Bubba. That works. Well, let's do what we always do at this part of the show and take a look at the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
No move on the Super Bowl line, still 1.5 Kansas City, but the over-under has fluctuated a little, back down to 48.5, was 49.5 yesterday, opened 48.5, so it's bounced back and forth. People getting a little bit of both sides on that one.
Is the weather going to be bad inside the dome?
I don't think it will be.
Is it going to be?
I think it'll be.
Why it changed?
I think it's going to be right around. It's going to be played somewhere in the 70s, is my guess.
You think so?
That's my guess.
Okay.
And I think
which team is going to get the wind?
I think there's about 0.2% chance of precipitation.
We will receive. We want the Southern goal.
It's an old stadium, so maybe there's a leak in the roof.
Maybe.
So I don't want to say 0% precipitation, but
possible.
Less than most games. In the association, Cleveland coming off a big win, 10-point favorites hosting the Atlanta Hawks.
Just lost Jalen Johnson. Prospects not good. I like 10.5.
Okay, there you go. The LA Lakers hit the road where they are 8.5-point favorites at the Wiz.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no feeling for this game. And Anthony Davis out for the foreseeable week or so, maybe more than that. He's got some kind of groin pull. So doesn't help.
I'm not interested in betting on the Lakers without Anthony Davis. Like he is their pace setter at this point. Timberwolves coming off a blowout win over the Suns. Now they are 7-point road favorites at the Utes. Did you say Utes? The Utah Jazz,
who just hung it on the Warriors.
Yeah, who knows what the Warriors just beat the best team in the NBA. So who knows what's going on there?
Touching that one.
How about this? Can I interest you in the Rockets as 5-point underdogs? But they'll have to go to Memphis to get the job done.
Love this one.
You
Take
like the
Rockets, baby. They're the hottest
boy.
team in basketball. Call them fish grease.
Oh, boy. I think this is going to be a hell of a game. Two teams that are, playing arguably they're both 7-3, 8-2-ish over their last couple games.
What are we looking at? 237.5? Is that what you have?
Let me pull it back up. 238.
238 now.
Yep.
I like 236. We go there.
You like over 236?
Oh yeah.
Okay. The Grizzlies have, I want to say nope, they have the third best home record in the NBA behind just Cleveland and Oklahoma City. They are 19-5 at home.
Houston
the
just
Rockets
went up to Boston and took care of business with a champ. So
the
I like
Rockets
this.
are strong on the road, 17-6 away from their house. So this is going to be a damn good match.
Game of the week of the year.
Seems that way. So that'll be a fun one tonight. And the Orlando Magic 5.5-point favorites in Portland in the Pacific Northwest. That's a tough one for me too. Portland stinks.
No Suggs tonight. No Wagner, of course. I don't like not having Suggs.
That Jalen Suggs card I tried to get ended up going for $140.
Well, I say no. He's a game time decision with a quad. So
I was going to get that one, and it got away from me.
See, those auctions need to have a buy now.
I know some of them do, but most of them they want to maximize.
You're holding out for a
value.
Charizard card or Charizard card.
Yes, or the thing that's in between the one away from being a Charizard. That's what I want.
That's what we need.
Because one day he'll be more powerful, right?
So I've been told, but I didn't finish the cartoon. So
it's like getting a rookie card, is what I understand it as. I don't totally understand Pokemon yet, but I will. I'm going to master it. One day, friends. Collegiate basketball taking place tonight, at least the action in the top 25.
A lot of SEC tonight.
Well, in the top 25, you've got Illinois at Nebraska. It's corn. Nebraska is not good.
No, they're not.
The Fred Hoiberg era is seemingly circling the drain. Illinois is a 4.5-point favorite at corn.
Wait a minute. I got them at Rutgers. Illinois Rutgers tonight.
Are you looking at lady basketball?
Am I?
I think you are.
Maybe I am.
I think you
Oh,
are.
I am looking at women. There we go.
Come on, Rob.
Sorry, I scrolled too far.
I see 4.5 either way. Illinois at corn.
Is Karnishevis fully healthy?
Yes.
I like
He's
that
played
line.
the last couple games. I like him too, and I think Illinois still, I think, is the most talented team in the Big Ten. Hasn't been the best team so far, but I think they are the most talented. I think eventually it starts to shine out. You can tell Nebraska really misses having Tominaga, like having that floor spacer. They're kind of lost without him. Ohio State is at Penn State tonight. I like Penn State laying 3 at home. Generally, I think Ohio State is overrated. They come up and bite me every once in a while.
I'll tell you what, they've got talent. They're just not very good.
I'm going to take my chances and go with the Penn State boys.
Ooh, that's
in
a rough
this one. Memphis is at Tulane. Memphis a 6.5-point favorite on the road.
I don't know anything about Tulane. Not touching it.
All I know is Memphis generally doesn't blow teams out. 6.5. It's a big-ish road number. And then Oregon is at UCLA tonight. UCLA, 4.5-point home favorite, despite being unranked and taking on the 16th ranked Ducks.
You know, UCLA, and you said it perfectly, despite being unranked, they've had a couple of good wins. I follow those guys. I think they're getting better.
Well, UCLA, Mick Cronin is such a crybaby.
You have a deep dislike for him.
Well, he just constantly bitches. And like they lost, I kept thinking, they're going to bounce back out of this thing when they had lost 5 out of 6 games. And since that run, they've won 4 straight. Now they've won 4 straight against questionable competition in the Big Ten. They beat Iowa at home. They beat Wisconsin at home, which is a solid win.
I think they're trending up is
and
where
then
I'm getting at.
They beat Washington and USC on the road. Now they're home against Oregon. They're favored. I don't know what to make of Oregon either, quite frankly. Dana Altman is going to make it difficult on you. I know that. If you turn the ball over, specifically, you're in trouble. And UCLA kind of turns the ball over. I don't trust UCLA a whole lot. But
follow them closely. I do think that they're going to make some noise as it gets better. It's a team getting better by the week.
I could see that. I could see it. And it's an older team. It's not a bunch of freshmen. These are mostly upperclassmen on that squad.
I've seen them play 2 halves of basketball this year. I saw them play earlier in the year, and I forget who they beat. It
was probably Wisconsin.
They were in red. Recently. I was going to say Maryland, but it must have been Wisconsin. They've got bounce up front. They've got activity on the glass, and when they're focused, they look pretty good. So I'm not saying to pick them everywhere, but tonight I like them at home.
All right, I can see that working out for you. In the world of the NHL, here we go.
See, I've been needing you to get there because I have no idea.
It's going down tonight across the street. T-Mobile, baby. VGK against the Columbus Blue Jackets.
So what is this VGK?
Vegas Golden Knights. We just call them VGK here.
See, I'm not.
You're local now.
I'm now in Rome. I have to speak like the
we
Romans.
say VGK.
Okay.
Or you say Go Knights Go. But the Knights minus 250 against Columbus. Columbus is the dregs. The Knights coming off a couple back-to-back losses. They need to get right. Still been the best team in their division. I think they're probably due to get right. The Seattle Kraken minus 190 hosting the Sharks, who are just, quite frankly, not an NHL caliber hockey team.
What's going on in Florida? I mean, in California, none of their teams are any good.
None of them are good. That includes the Anaheim Ducks, who are they're plus 145 at Calgary. Calgary minus 175. The Blackhawks are at Carolina. Carolina minus 470. Good golly. Pick them between the Capitals and the Senators. Winnipeg minus 140 at Boston. The Tampa Bay Lightning minus 140 hosting the LA Kings. The Minnesota Wild are at Montreal. Montreal minus 135 favorite. Flyers and the Islanders. Islanders minus 125 on the road. And the Oilers minus 265 hosting the Red Wings. That'll do it for us. We'll be back here tomorrow live from this same exact facility here at the MGM Grand for the Benavidez Morrell fight.
Yes, sir.
Until then, Blitz comes up at 2. We'll talk to you tomorrow, San Antonio. Later.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and